What is poppin' people? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. As always, it's your senior yapologist joining you for the Misplay for Game podcast. It's Andrew or Elixir.
Hello, the internet. It's your boy, fresh off his roll down to go top for the TommyNT. Nice to see you all.
Howdy. It's really warm and my fan is guarding my wind.
It's me, emergency guest.
Yeah, so we're back. We're not taking several days off. We actually, well, I say that. It was like 2 weeks since we last streamed, but you know, we were busy with stuff.
It's been longer. It's been a month since the last episode.
No, I didn't have to update the month column. It was, we streamed last on the 8th.
Oh, really? The YouTube category needs an update then, because the last episode on the YouTube channel is episode
Twitch then 21 days.
Ago.
I thought we skipped like a week.
Yeah, it was only like 1 week. Can't be.
Anyway, the podcast is late again. Let me look. No, streamed 4 weeks ago. That's what it says.
Okay, strange. But yeah, we're back with stuff.
Back. Hey,
if you love your favorite, most regular podcast, make sure to hit the like button if you're watching on YouTube, and if you're watching on Twitch, consider hitting subscribe if you have Twitch Prime. It gives you the access to support us for free. It turns the overlay blue and some other cool things. We're going to be talking Digimon, potentially might get sidetracked on Vanguard. Digimon Times has some cool stuff, but Cyber Sleuth, that's a set that's getting some cards, and we now know what all of them are, so we can talk everything pretty much. So yeah, thanks y'all for tuning in. Thanks boys for joining us. How's it been going in the nebulous 2 to 4 week period since we last went live?
My break from card games has been full of card games. Weirdly,
I hate Invite Marcio with such a passion.
You guys were just playing Arena before this, right? You just got
no. That's the fun part of Invite Marcio. The sad part of Invite Marcio is buying updates for 3 other card games because he no longer cares about Digimon until he has to lock in for the next event.
Hold on. Do I have it with me? Where is that?
Oh, also, he pulls like crazy.
Oh, that's not it. Where is it? Give me a second.
Man, it'd be really funny if you lost that.
I love this visual gag for our podcast.
No, this isn't the machine. This isn't the machine.
Oh, okay, never mind.
That makes it funnier for this audio media.
Oh, guys, you guys like Pokemon? Oh, I got this cool Feraligatr deck. It's kind of neat, guys. You guys like Feraligatr?
Oh, you're getting the pre-release
one. Soon.
Brokey?
Yeah, I am a Brokey.
That's true.
Because I'm just playing that many other games, you know?
Bro got sushi with me instead of buying real shiny cardboard.
What can I say?
Good sushi though. Shout out to Mizuchi in Chinatown.
Yeah, it was that was sick boys.
Bro, don't leak don't eat off me. That's where I live.
You don't live in Chinatown.
You don't know that?
Every week, I'm gonna narrow out one place.
I was gonna say reverse dox him.
Yeah, and by the end, this podcast better have ended before we.
It's not guess who, it's guess where.
Yeah, Wormst.
Like where, why, and how. Wormst.
No, it's been. Let's do a little rattle off, right? Crazy. What was the new Digimon live stream system called? It's like Digimon
Elysium?
News. No. That's the video game. We're talking about the like actual new like. I don't actually know what it's basically the Digimon
like
Nintendo Direct.
Yeah, their directs.
It's called.
Is it not called like Live or something?
Something like that. This is an awesome one. I love Omnimon Live because I can't remember the name of something.
Either way, there was that. There was the new server stuff.
Times. It's called Digimon Times.
Digimon Times.
Times featured a bunch of news about new cards, new Digimon entertainment medium.
Is that the one with Freaky Terriermon?
No, those were.
No, that's a different live.
Going forward, but that's a different live. Digimon's not consistent on its live media. But the Digimon Times is essentially like their full like across the network, like here's news about games and cards and all that stuff. So that's when we learned about Shambala, which we'll probably talk about in a minute. I got a link handy for Andrew as a visual.
Shambala, I hardly know her.
Susan desperately attempting to beat Fraud Watch.
Yeah, that was when we learned about the new V-Pets. Because just when we finished adding the Boko, shout out to the channel members, just when we finished doing pendulum color list Bokos, they added 2 more pendulum colors, which was very fun. Like literally the week after. or the month after, as it turns out.
Yeah, all I'm saying is it's just more and more credence that one of the Bandai staff is a YouTube channel member at champion or higher tier, so they can get
They
access to ad-free.
I mean, at this point, it's got to be
other
tricks,
stuff.
right?
It would make the most sense for it to be Tommy.
Have you seen the card reveals? It's got to be tricks.
This is our new one. It's like he's definitely a Bandai operative. It's like, hello,
It's
yes,
pretty
you
dope,
should buy
actually.
product. Please buy
They
lots
gave
of
him
product.
everything.
We got
Guys,
new scoops.
Digimon Cyber Sleuth is really cool.
We got new scoops on upcoming sets. We now know what BT24 is. It's the first BT Liberator set. The entire thing is Digimon Liberator themed. We don't have a name yet.
I thought the Liberator set was EX11.
Is it EX11?
Yeah, it's an EX again. I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure.
interesting. I'll have to check that out. But we got an entirely new Liberator set, which we'll talk more about why that's important now that we have BT22 reveals finished. And lastly, we got extra info about Time Stranger, which is sweet. And the contents of that are game changing. So, Digimon Times was dope. Did you guys watch it, or did you just see all the like highlights and stuff?
I saw the
Highlights
highlights. I
and
didn't
stuff.
catch it.
It's like a weird. They like play through it twice. Like it's like when like Nintendo Directs happen and they do like 4 streams. And it's like here's here's UK Nintendo and it's a bloke going here's Mario. They do that, but like
Great
they do
voice,
it in,
great
like,
voice, great voice.
They do it in English, in Japanese, and in Mandarin, which is cool. But they like go through it like segments, so they like lay out like here's everything we're gonna reveal today, and then they just drop it all on you, which is very funny, and I enjoyed it. They also had like a segment where like they had like press stuff afterwards, so like a load of questions and things got answered about projects that we kind of knew about, which is cool. So like we knew about like we learned more about like the development of Time Stranger and stuff like that.
And also Beat Break.
And Beat Break, yeah, we got Gekomon.
Gekomon!
Gekomon's name is like a triple pun. It like does not translate into English, by the way. Like Gecko, like the difference in phonetic pronunciation is like a reference to like the light of something on your forehead, like the moonlight. I hear. So it's like Gecko having a little moonlight is like gecko. It's like a bit. It doesn't translate to English in any way, but like there you go. Some guy will be like, they're fake Digimon fans. I'm like, no, we're just not that interesting on the show. If we do,
when are we getting like a Digimon translation that doesn't translate to like JP? Like like I'm tired of.
I would have said Raremon probably doesn't translate to JP very well at all.
No, I feel like it probably. I think it probably develops better because like rare has like 2 meanings.
So wait, I'll give you it for free. Are you ready? It's called Burning Greymon.
Yeah, the ones that we changed the names for no reason.
Yeah. Those translations.
KnTElixar.
Those translations are so bad we can't use them in the card game.
Whoops.
Tweetmon. Although that's universal.
Gobsmacked about Tweetmon. I'm on my.
Yeah, I was saying, where's the X antibody form?
I'm on my recovering Appmon hater arc, so today I'll be much nicer about the Appmon. I actually think some of them are pretty good in the new stuff. I'm like,
they go wide. How bad can they be?
If you watched the set review last time, there was like I have maintained my stance pretty consistently that I think the Appmon deck is better than the Appmon TV show, and it will continue to improve as they print cards for it. And they printed a lot of alright cards. So
the Appmon stuff, like the first wave of support was kind of like not that interesting. I was like, here's the mechanic.
Shouldn't have started with red.
It wasn't even shouldn't have started with red. It was like they introduced him at the same time as introducing him as a hero. So like a bunch of his cards randomly had to like also be hero cards.
But it was like these cards are very first wave, and like I mean, yeah, the deck can win for sure. However, this version, it's yellow, it goes wide, DP minuses, welcome back, Lord Knight. I'm all in.
And another set of level 4s that play themselves from security. I'm sure this will not get old fast.
It's older
man, shouldn't have chipped.
Isn't that fun?
Could you build a deck that's entirely...
Yes, you already could.
Yeah, for many months now.
But like without just having to stack 4s of cards. Could you make stuff that actually synergizes sort of without...
Well, I have great news. There's this cool mechanic that happens when you put 2 level 4 Digimon of specific colors on top of each other. It makes a thing with Rush.
Yeah, you're
so
right.
You can just play Chimera, a DNA that works, and then your favorite security 4s. I drafted a version of it. It was It's
And
obnoxious.
you can play like 6s that recover, so you can recover more level 4s.
You play Shakumon as the 5, he recovers.
Yeah, fair
Kinda
enough.
peak.
Yeah, more Appmon
Anyways.
stuff. Liberator got a ton of new support. We're never gonna do the Liberator book club because I don't think Marcio's read Liberator. But actually, Andrew, are you still caught up?
I'm caught up on the comic. I'm not caught up on the book. I did do like a portion where I just caught up, and it did not take very long. But then I fell back behind, like criminally far back behind.
But there's a bunch of Liberator stuff too. So thoughts to talk about. Should we want to start with Shambala? I got a link for you, Big
All
Dog.
Yeah,
Sham,
sounds
no
good.
wow.
Shambala's neat. I think it's like it's
They made
hard
a
to
few.
like. Yeah, obviously, like the monkey is for me. Like it's
in the live
Sun
chat.
Wukong. My only thing with Shambhala is like I hope we get like a set dedicated to it. I think that'd be neat. But
I
like
saw
at
a
the
cool
same,
post. I saw a
either
cool post
that
about
or
the new, sorry.
they'll just turn it into like a. I don't want this to be another like Mega Zoo deck where it's just like, well, you know, you just slam the guys and you do the game plan. But some of those mons are cool, so I'm excited to see like what this eventually converts into.
My
there's-
thing with it is twofold. First, the awesome pun, Sun Wukong, like the new rookie monkey. He's a monkey who's a rock star, so he's a monkey who came from a rock. Sun
Yep.
Wukong, very good joke.
I thought
but
the
the other
joke was
thing as
he's
well-
a monkey that came to rock.
Either or, right? Like it's a
Yeah.
monkey in a rock joke. The other one is the reveal of Ryugumon back in what was that, BT 18, 19? The
Yeah,
first time he showed the card
yeah.
game, and now Kaguya-mon in EX9. Neither of them have the tag for this like this group they are now a part of. So I think the Megazoo thing won't happen for a while, and I hope they don't, because it's like I don't mind it with Royals and Demon Lords because most of them had a deck that they already existed in at some point that they could be like, yeah, I would, I had my own gimmick before I just became part of the Megazoo deck. Whereas with these guys, I hope that the first time that like we get all of these Digimon, because 3 of them have been in decks before, right? Like Shakumon has his set of cards that accomplish a game plan, and then Ryugu obviously is Liberator
Well,
Fish,
yeah,
and Kaguya is
Liberator
the second
Puppets.
part of Puppets.
Yeah.
I
Well, I
really
mean,
like
there's also-
Nejamon.
He's super cool.
Yeah, get in line, dude. Get in line.
That's the scarf, no tires, bro's high.
yeah. You seen the burst mode? Sorry, it has a crimson mode if you guys.
Yeah, he does.
But we're not gonna.
Oh, Marcio, congratulations, by the way. Dude in Chair has appeared in Digimon.
For the second
Amazing.
time.
About time.
Are you not a Takudomon guy? Have you not looked into this? I don't know what you guys know about like 2020's Digimon. It feels like
I don't-
crazy. Like I think there's an early-ish like episode 12-ish era of Misplay.
Hang
where
on,
I was talking about how ridiculous Lost Century was getting. I'm like, you guys know Erlangmon is an Omnimon-esque DNA of Melga and Cherubimon.
Oh, sick.
Hype.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the random lore in Lost Century that turned into this is insane.
They just be fusing.
I just
more
hope
stuff.
Susan finally beats Fraud Watch, man.
The other thing, H, is I'll do you one even better. I don't think they'll give this deck a Megazoo deck because, this aesthetic a Megazoo deck of the group because the samurai don't like each other.
Yeah.
They don't work together. They split them in
constantly
half. So there's the 3 heroes side, and then the what's the island called with Amaterasumon that she runs? It doesn't. I can't remember. But the other one is Semyojin. And then the Shakumon and Enmamon live on their own in like the heavens and the hells and stuff.
And then Enma is just in hell.
Yomi. I would be more interested to see what they decide to do. I think we might get if I'm gonna get conspiracy theory-esque, the next set of double starter decks are 100% 3 warriors versus Sanmyojin. That's a super sick called shot for this.
That'd be cool.
I don't know. The bigger exciting part of this lore is that we know that we're getting entirely new lines. The Digitama hatchery over at Humulus.com already has updated the pendulum color section, so you can see the sprites for stuff. We don't have names for everything yet, but we're getting like a new thing. It's also cool. Like this is sort of like how Liberator kind of brought life back to existing Digimon designs that haven't had a ton of fan service recently. Caesarmon is part of Amaterasumon's line. Appmon is part of what's the new
Satan.
Satan
Satan
Gokumon. Satan Gokumon.
Like
Satan
Satan's
Gokumon Saiten Gokumon, by the way, is like one of the most like detail-heavy Digimon designs I've ever seen. It's got Shohakai's pig and the crow head. The chest piece on Saiten Gokumon is a monkey see, monkey hear, monkey speak. If you haven't seen that, that's pretty crazy.
See no evil, speak no evil, hear no evil.
Yeah.
Hang on, I got it for you. I got it. Where are you?
Put it in the live chat if you have to.
Yep. It's also got Little Monkey too.
Yeah, his chest
and
piece
Little Monkey is a delight.
The three wise monkeys, which is cool.
Oh, did it send as a download? My bad.
Yeah, so his chest piece has that.
They're so good. They're just so unbelievably good, both of them.
Yeah, so there's a lot of dope stuff coming out of this. There's also like entirely new eggs and rookies and stuff. I think we're much more likely to see this play either as part of a field deck, like I said. Like
a pendulum deck.
Shakamon Wave 2, baby.
Yeah, to be honest, that could be something to consider. But yeah, there's a lot of cool shit here. I'm pretty keen.
I mean, this would be a really sick EX set as well, because like these look like they would split enough over the colors where you could reasonably introduce entire new lines of Digimon and be like, yeah, this is not like one wave of support, but like, you know, with if you're giving a full line to 2 Digimon and they're both the same color, you've effectively got like enough cards to reasonably inject 4 or 5 decks into the game in one set, which could be pretty cool. If you like buying product, that's the set for you.
I am excited to see what they do with some of these, though. I think like broadly, like I can give you guys a 2-second or less lore dump for all of them if you're interested. Shakamon is the thing we already know about. Yep. It is the like basically like divine all combat stops. So like the board wide sec effect is like a huge like crazy thing that they're gonna presumably continue to do with this. I literally bought 4 old Shakamons when these cards got announced. By the way, it was pretty sweet.
How much you spent on those? Like $2?
Yeah, straight up all in, like a tenner. It was pretty sweet.
Awesome.
Ryugumon and Kageyumon control the woods and the seas around the island of Sanmyomi, and Amaterasumon controls the sky. So it's like the components of like the natural order there. That's what we know so far. Amaterasu, obviously the goddess of fire in Shinto lore. Very cool. The evolution line looks like this image hides Digimon, so no matter how much better it gets, they'll still post like a 60 by 60 absolutely toasted resolution image of their newest price break.
Yes.
Amaterasumon's design misses a huge amount of detail in the fact that she's basically like a dog Power Ranger. If you see her like face and headpiece, she has like Arcanine split dog ears and stripes and stuff. That's because the evolution comes up from like a Caesarmon line.
Surely it's like a well, okay, yeah, the Caesarmon line makes sense. That also links back to like Shinto stuff with the fox statues and then also the Caesar statues. But also like lions are also very often associated with the sun because of their mane. So like, kind of all linked in there that she's somewhat lioness coded.
Yeah, they're very like the new rookie like through line that they've posted is like consistent with that like aesthetic. And then her like face literally has like dog teeth and face and dog nose like on the helmet around her head. It's very cool to look at. Takudomon is, if I had to put a safe bet on any of these, I'd actually start with Neijamon, but I'll come back to that one in a little minute. So Takudomon is probably the safest one to pick here. There's never been a more finally they came back for Nightmon. This is like the warring general. I don't remember exactly his full like Digivolution branch path in New Century, because New Century gets updates and things change. It's kind of wild. But this is like the Master of Arms. This is like, you know, some real smite heads in the chat will remember what that looks like as a master of weapons sort of god, but this is the same aesthetic here that they're going for. He like controls and changes weapons with his mind. It's really dope. Erlangmon is just going to be a DNA deck. I'm almost sure, like without any measure. I don't know how much of it they'll tie to New Century, because the cast of characters that work with their partner Gabumon and Lotmon, like will they make a whole thing out of that? Who knows? But it's very dope. Somebody in chat saying the Digital Hazard is a cool one. There's some designs here that have already incorporated that, which is sweet. Neijamon is my favorite of all of the samurai. I've been like individually
Kirby wheel power looking ass.
His whole thing is that he is the master of cyborgs. this is a robot. If you don't know,
Tell you.
his whole
There's your
shtick-
father's machine.
Yeah, no kidding. It's probably an alternate top end. What you would do with Machinedramon, in my expectation. The gimmick
Finally,
is that,
the all red machine.
well, I got a feeling it's not going to be a red Digimon, but we'll figure. You can't make Amaterasumon and not.
Well, I mean, there's too many of them for they're not to be colored.
There's also a Gokumon coming out.
Oh yeah, but like I feel like he's gonna end up in yellow, right? Like there's too many Gokus already in yellow.
Maybe. The crazy part is the Erlangmon, the Takutomon, and the Neijamon all have burst mode, crimson mode, and a blast evolution. I
believe so.
Which is really dope because it's like they are canon the same effects as the previous times that those things have appeared in different Digimon medium, which is pretty sweet. The last one is Enmamon. Enmamon is like his little lore thing at the bottom. This is literally all we know about him, but we know he basically runs the underworld over there, which is pretty sweet.
Dudes in chairs.
But the thing I've seen a lot of people geeking about is that
It's just
they are kind of the same. I'll put it this way: Susanomon has favorites, right? He has is the spirits he likes, and he's made the samurai.
Another 2,000 years, Garurumon.
Yeah, would spirit go? So it's very cool. He controls the like cycle of growth and stuff. It's Anubismon, to be honest, but it's pretty dope. We'll see what they do with it. To be honest, I anticipate more of this being, like I said, if I'm putting the hat on, this feels like the easy sitter for starter decks, because they're less likely to incorporate this as like, especially with the case of Kaguya and Ryugumon, they're less likely to muddy the water on like what kind of like rookie incorporation they'll have. Like Kageyumon will probably want to stay tied to Liberator to be part of the Liberator deck, so they'll probably have a separate one. That's why like all of the new spoilers for the set review, some of the new delays all require you to evolve into Fish with Liberator and Puppet with Liberator. They're being very specific going
I think
forward.
that's less a puppet, like obviously they're doing it to standardize it. Only one of those tags really does need to be kind of pushed into a little box. Because like bird, like a green card that evolves you into a bird. There's not really birds that aren't named.
Shinmanze from nowhere would be pretty good, but I get what you mean.
It would be okay. I don't think it'd be better than just evolving into a zero-cost Kaguya, obviously.
Yeah, no,
but like
right.
the one who's really being shoehorned in here is they're like, please, we fucked up. Aegisdramon is like, please stop. No big fish, man. Go into your government mandated big fish lady.
Yeah, that'll be something to try. I also expect them to be kind of explored more as like individual pieces, because their eggs don't line up the same. Hanimon is in, sorry, the rookies don't line up the same. Hanimon is in the second of the pendulum pillars.
I'm pretty sure Sengomon is as well, though.
Sengomon is not. We know Sengomon's not, because we got a new like little crab guy, which is cool.
Yeah, these guys
but yeah, I'm super excited. It's gonna be pretty dope. We'll give Marcio a minute to come back before we start on the set review. But there's some other stuff that's been getting hyped up and teased. We know a little bit more about. We've seen footage of Time Stranger, which is pretty crazy. There's like extensive play footage of the full thing.
The clip of the player character using Palmon like a grappling hook is so fucking funny.
Yeah, that one's
like, go, my child, swing. Woo!
My favorite part is they've incorporated like it's all of the elements from all the previous Digimon games that you would expect as like the spirits, but then like the attribute of like vaccine virus data free has just like completely blown up. It looks like there's attributes for unknown, unidentified, like all of the like random spaghetti ones you could think of seem to be incorporated now. Which makes me think they're going to be a lot more like narrowed down to like giving Diaboromon its like flowers for once, which would be pretty cool.
I mean, the Digimon World games or story games rather, have also always had like the elemental typings as well. So as much as you were still playing like RPS, there was also the you've got two elements that you're strong
RPS,
and weak
but
to.
this rock has a lizard.
Yeah. Like rock beats paper, except when paper is molten, in which case, unlucky bozo.
The KBeeDS revival arc.
I just need to set up again.
You're all good. We didn't move past it. We were waiting for explaining what else was going on with the Time Strangers teasers and stuff, because it's been pretty interesting.
Oh, you guys could have skipped ahead.
No,
bro wants to be in as little content as possible. I respect it.
Yeah, I get the vibe. Yeah, that was the big one. I think the other main thing to talk about is that we know that we're going to be getting. We got a little bit more info about where the end of like especially now that the reveals kind of correlated to this. We've got the end of BT22 fully incorporated as one thing. They've talked a little about what we should expect come EX10. Sorry, yeah, EX10 this September. We'll talk more about September in a minute, chat. And lastly, we know where 23 is going. So we got a pretty good little through line, basically to the end of Block 5, which is exciting. Very keen. Okay, should we talk about BT22?
Yes, we can
We
indeed.
kind of go over it, yeah.
We can kind of go over it. Dope. BT22 is an incredibly big, beefy bastard of a Digimon set. It's 103 cards, and we're going to hear even more about it. It has a couple breaks from convention. It's one of those sets that doesn't have an egg of every color, which I always think is a fun one for the trivia game later on.
Goodbye, red guy.
Yeah, goodbye, red guy. I kind
Enjoy second yellow guy.
Yeah, I'm pretty surprised. I get why we got Tapmon because they're trying to push Appmons and stuff, but I was pretty surprised.
I'm gonna be so appreciative of that Kiaramon though. That card good.
I really
good.
thought we were gonna get a Sunomon this time. Obviously, the new Puyoyo is crazy though. The new Puyoyo. Listen, I know Bukamon's good. But card draw is broken in Fish because Fish.
I'ma make memory, dude.
Yeah,
I'm gonna make memory.
Fish.
Tama aren't supposed to make memory.
Look. What I'll say is you'll have two people testing. Like I'm Bukamon's strongest soldier.
This is the first version of Fish I will be going back to because like Ryugumon is just like a card I enjoy deeply.
Ariamon is a house.
I think like I don't want to do like a full full set review because obviously we have bigger things to do. But yeah, I think it's like we can probably just kind of highlight a few things, right?
Well, we break it up by archetype, right?
Yeah, the Omnimon cards are good as fuck.
Should we start with Fish because Fish won the pleasure of being the first egg in the set?
Yes, good.
Yeah, sure.
Spoilers for Digimon Liberator. You're no longer
Spoilers for Digimon Liberator.
Yeah, there's nothing else we can do for you if you're not caught up. Don't watch this part. Skip like an hour ahead, and if we're still arguing with each other, move on.
No
spoiler. No, you've had your thing.
There's no way to not spoil it.
If you are tapped into
There she is.
to this and you're listening to this podcast but haven't checked a Discord, impressive. Every Discord bot that's remotely related to Digimon probably has pinged you with the level 7 that we're gonna talk about this.
Actually, wait, yeah, hang on. I like that.
And listen,
that's how I know.
That's how I know y'all aren't reading the comic book. The 7 is not the spoiler. It's the option card.
Me, what I have main character powers.
Yeah.
Filter to I like the post there. We're trying to speed through this. Filter to secrets and SRs only, and then that'll save us talking about everything.
No, that actually doesn't work in 22. There's like 3 archetypes that don't show up like this.
Why does it not? This is all the SRs and secrets.
Yeah, but does this cover every? No, because you're missing out on like the Lord Knight, the Gayu,
all of the
Jimmy Ken stuff.
It truly doesn't work if you
can't do double selection.
To be honest, it hasn't worked since BT19.
Hasn't worked long since before.
It's because they keep making rares like
really good archetype rares. Yeah,
and then like
let's just rip the band-aid off on Fish, gang. Fish is not going to take us forever to talk about.
Fish are fucking good.
The Puyoyomon is a draw egg in an archetype that goes minus from hand. Every time I'm just ripping through it.
No. Saying that the archetype goes neg is not entirely true. Like you have cards that replenish themselves, since you have searchers like this. Yeah, you have Sango and like you have the Shellmon that like tucks to draw, and you have the Lana. Like the deck doesn't neg that much. But yes, replenishing for free means that you just have options.
A number of your 5s and 6s go hand neutral at most. Sure. Right? So the Puyoyo is a way around that in certain sense.
The main thing is like, I'm going to say this right now. Most Fish players are like really doo-doo and they don't understand what makes a card good. So when I see people say that the Ryugumon is just like, oh, why would you play this? It's like, you are just terrible at the game and you don't know what makes a card good. The deck that goes wide and can fight board, what's the last thing that I don't really have interaction with? Oh, Tamers? You're telling me that my rare level 6 can stun Tamers? Wow, that's so crazy, guys.
And he suspiciously does it on play as well. I hope
he does it on play.
Yeah, I hope that doesn't randomly have any negative implications.
And like he clears things, except the main thing is like he clears things that are it's not end of turn, so you can actually clear things to swing.
Mhm.
I don't know, man.
Well, the problem is that there's no real good like big fish to swing at your opponent. You know, there's no hypothetical top end piece that is good at attacking your opponent. Andrew, would you like to click the big fish lady next to? What the fuck? Why does it just read make a board? This card resolves and you acquire a board.
People saying that my audio is cutting out. Is that true?
Nah, you sound okay to me right now.
I can't
Sounds
hear
fine
it.
to me.
Or rather, I can't hear you cutting out.
If you're on Twitch, always try a refresh. Sometimes it's a little bit funky.
Anyways, Arimon's crazy.
Funky
Arimon is
fresh
level
fish.
7.
Arimon's unbelievable.
Arimon can evolve over your
Or a
5
6+,
using a warp, which is cool. But the main notable crazy part of this is that, like they said, this is build a board and a button. It spawns a 3, 4, and a 5, and like I've seen a couple people make
and your 5s of on plays, and your 3s of on plays, and your 4s of on plays.
Yeah, it's the discussion of like, is this a blue Lord Knight now? And kind of, to be honest, we said of shrink it bot decks.
It's also it's better than Lord Knight because like all of your stuff being deco tagged means that like your board is like actually really sticky. Like the only way that like even the Digivolve doesn't necessarily beat this deck because it's like, okay, the thing that you Digivolve me into also has decode. Like once I make my board, I will always have some semblance of my board. So cards that give you like rebuild value, like the Tamer, obviously like the Tamers are very good. The Emblem's crazy,
BT22
Scrambles. Also, yeah, your Tamer, so that's the other thing. All these decks now have a BT20 Shoda, and I think like BT20 Shoda was like the blueprint because his effect is end of turn, suspend him to
they're
like
giving you this.
something.
They're giving you this nice thing where you got the worst of the start of like start of main give you a rookie Tamers because you got the first one, but now
they got an ace too.
No, they got the ace as well. But now they're gonna loop back, and I think Shoda will get his emblem last because I think it will be how he wins the final fight in Liberator, right?
The emblem will be give my opponent a token.
No, it's still gonna do the exact same. It's gonna have the exact same text. It's gonna have the exact 7.
Your Zafagamon will give you the token. Take it or leave it.
My opponent gets a feather token or whatever the fuck. Okay, like.
Well, the problem is he's gonna be playing against Zenith, so Zenith is gonna have a body on field. He's gonna out Gaiamon with it. Either way, emblem. Click the emblem. Click emblem. Emblem. Click. Get ready to read this 4 more times because you got to read it in blue and yellow now. Get ready to read it in the other 4 colors pretty soon.
It'll be black and purple next.
It'll be black and purple next, and then probably end in red and.
Red will get it twice, right? Assuming they want to do it for Yutaro.
They will.
None of the novel.
So funny.
None of the novel guys are getting these.
Yeah, the novel
sucks to be winner. More like loser.
They will leave
More
them
like loser.
They will leave them out to dry like it's nothing else.
I don't know. I
It's
feel
gonna
like
be
maybe
brutal.
Yuki might.
Nope.
That's the craziest cope I've ever heard.
If Yuki gets anything, it'll be because she's got it'll be a joke from her Twitch stream that she
Yuki's
has now.
deck did so bad they gave her a Huckmon. They're not giving her an emblem.
Anyways, emblems fucking unbelievable, and of course the emblems then pair nicely with the 5s that everybody seems to be getting as well, which is I warp over 3 by placing 4 if you have Tamer, I have archetypal keyword, and I have your archetypal inherit. And wowee, being a 5 and having the correct Tamer name means that the 7s that we all seem to be getting will be able to warp. This is really cool, and also the warp effect from the hand on these works with your Evo reduction rookies that we
Hold on, somebody's rage baiting
have.
in chat. Somebody's rage baiting in chat.
I rolled my eyes. We don't read rage bait on the show anymore.
Okay,
Wait,
my bad.
is it? Oh, okay, yeah, never mind.
No,
we don't read rage bait
We
anymore.
only
chat.
read rage bait during game shows because of that.
That's bait.
That's bait. Bait used to be believable. Bait used to be believable.
You should rewatch Mad Max.
Bait used to be believable.
Anyway,
Bait used to be believable. Anyway.
These cards are kind of cool.
Please check
yeah.
the Forbidden and Limited list.
But like, for example, I think they're very neat to like get you back on board because like Central and Fish are decks that like kind of like want to be on board. But some decks will just like not let go of board to begin with. So like the warp in some decks, I feel like it just won't be like as useful. Like I don't really see that Owen deck being.
I think
useful
all
with
of
the
these,
warp.
like all of these decks are getting like an archetypal scramble as a tamer. So like I think warp from tamer, like tamer gives you, what does it replace itself? It plays a Yao, then if you don't have a Digimon, it gives you the Songo.
Yeah, it does.
So that will set your warp up, and then you can use the emblem to go from there into the 7. I think that will be a real line that all of these decks have because all of the 7s will then immediately impact the board.
Yeah.
I think they're very strong. Also, the fact that like this is a specific thing for puppets because they play the tamer, then play the rookie. The Orisa one, excuse me, will let you play a rush or like rush giving Orisa, then play the shoe, and then the shoe will get rush.
It's cool that it's the starter deck. Can't wait for the.
Also, yeah, the emblem is being.
What Shoto's called again?
Vortex Resonance.
Vortex.
No, that's the option. What is it? Winged something? Vortex Warriors.
Winged Blast. Vortex Fart.
I bought the yellow one.
Yeah, Orisa does the
Gust,
same thing. Literally down
Gust Suspend. I'm running out of.
Oh, you're talking about like Ammonoi?
No.
No,
We're talking about the
what's the
literal
name
name of the
deck?
product, the actual name of the physical box that you bought.
It
Because
was Fable Waltz.
ST25.
Fabled Waltz and hold on.
No, we could fix this really.
I'm doing it right now. I'm trying to anyway.
It was.
It's right there.
It's called
Japanese.
Guardian Vortex.
There we go.
Guardian
There you go.
Vortex. It's called Guardian Vortex.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Pretty
let's
cool.
talk about puppets because we can do this one all as a batch. We're doing
Holy
through this.
shit!
Yeah, the cards are great.
So the
Why does Central have a non-play?
Don't worry about it. Anyways, the Kiaromon.
No. I am worried about it because why?
Work up first.
It costs 11, so you can lethal this thing for game.
It's the funniest overclock body. Next question.
It's by design an overclock bozo.
Anyways, Kiaromon is nice because you have to play the name Kiaromon now because Hanimon is too good to ignore. This Kiaromon is better than the other one because having two bodies, you usually won't have two bodies when you swing on the first attack because you're probably overclocking, which means that the body has just eaten shit and died. So this will draw you cards more often. The Shumon has the Shrink Inherit. I think it probably makes it better than Promo Shu, but like, hard to say still. The blocker is nice. It's also like on play, on delete, so it can give two things blocker. But you know what else gives things blocker? Kaguya. So it's hard to say. The Promo Shu, sorry, not the Promo Shu. The Shu is very funny because it's like even more random bodies. Like this is one of the better things for Kaguya to free play out. The problem is that the things that Kaguya free plays out are searchers if you need pieces. And if you don't have a thing that you actually like actively need, you are playing Promo Shushu until you can no longer play out Promo Shushus. Does have the Shrink Inherit though, which is nice. The Chaparral warps, and the warp matters because the emblem exists and the summon exists. It has overclock.
It's weird they
Yeah,
started
5 is
putting
amazing.
It does everything. She's perfect.
Yeah, this is maybe
they had to make
just the one I'm like, wow, what this.
They had to make a Chaparral that is as good as Karakuru, and I don't think this is as good as Karakuru, but I think because it is named Chaparral, it does come very close, which matters.
Yeah, it's very
the Sandri is pretty good. The Sandri is pretty good. It makes an infinite rat duplication glitch. It only costs 3 to evolve, which matters because the emblem makes it cost 0. And she does it on play, which will probably matter at least once. Makes it very funny if you ever spit her out off of Mirai. Lingering DP minus.
She's the next 3-cost Sandralon as well, which does matter too. She doesn't you're not losing the guarantee of any of your overclock stuff that way. You can actually get value twice.
Nya Boots is crazy. Obviously, it warps over the 5 for 6, which is nice. It's the one Digivolving for the first round of DP minus. Then you overclock to pop, which triggers the all turns, trigger the when Digivolving again to get a second round of lingering DP minus. That scales with your board size. Is very, very strong. And then, of course, I think Seb mentioned it in passing, or if not, I told him. Buy Promo Orisa if you like Sandri at all. This is my warning.
That ship has sailed. That ship
has sailed. Unlucky, brother. Should have bought D storages. Because the line that this deck will do specifically a lot now is a Promo a EX7 Shumon with the Evo reduction would let you warp into Chaparral for 2 instead of for 3. And then that will be you evolving into a puppet. And Promo Orisa is the easiest Orisa to get sideways, which means that she is
gain 1, right?
When you Evo into a puppet, gain 1, which means that is the easiest time for you to trigger the unique emblem, which means that you can go for 4 memory and.
You can also use it to play the Shumon.
What I'm saying,
it's damage.
The delay.
There's so many ways to trigger everything.
It's very good. This triggers the delay. So this is how you go.
One memory Sandral.
1 memory Sandral or 4 memory Nya Boots, because remember Nya Boots can warp over what's it called? Can warp over Chaparral.
Yeah, your opponent checks this in security, and then if your hand contains Promo Orisa and this thing is set delay, you have a full combo to a level 7 from a hard played tamer.
Yep. Very, 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 very good cards. Also means that Nya Boots being he's an all-turns, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like another round of threat from your like the level 5 inherit for your puppets, like the protect your puppet by popping something else, just gets better every time they print something with an all.
Does the emblem make you evolve into Central like name?
Nope. Into a Liberator.
Oh, so you can evolve into
You can warp into Nya Boots or Kaguya.
Yeah, it makes sense.
That's
because
why everything is being very specific.
The emblem went
It's
off.
very
during the
good.
Evo
It's very, very good. This card is very good. Have I mentioned how good this card is? The puppet cards are very good.
You want to talk about how not good this is? Smile?
No, we can't. You can't do it this way.
Hang on.
No, hold on. I'm vetoing this as 1/3 of the podcast. This is not how we're doing this.
All right, he's now looking away so I can talk about it.
Go axe this. We'll go back to the start. We're gonna go talk about Wanyamon. We're not starting with Alphamon. That's stupid. We're not doing it. We're not doing it. I'd rather we start with Appmon.
We can cover everything but CS. Like,
Yeah,
everything else will take less time
to talk about. But we have the time to do it, right? We've used.
Yeah.
Let's do some of this properly. So the second medium online, or sorry, is he called Musimon as a 3? Mediumon's the 4.
Yeah.
The second Appmon batch is, broadly speaking, like Marcio said, a reprint of Lord Nightmon. Like the gameplay pattern is very similar.
Me when I'm yellow and go wide.
Yeah, the advantage this will give you is that these are I'm trying to think how to say this charitably because I don't want Appmon haters to hate me again. I think the links in this are either way stronger or complete garbage. But
the highs are higher and the lows are lower.
The lows are so much lower
compared to like the original, like the Gachmon line.
Yeah, the Gachmon comparison to Musimon was raid. This is -2. It's not comparable.
Oranamon or whatever his name is, very, very good card.
Yeah, Oranamon though is good. We should start with Oranamon before we talk about the other pieces because the
whole
Oranamon and the 5s.
Link +1 again. Good start.
The whole point of this line is that like whereas like the Gachmon line wants to like control the board through deletion and like attacking and creating like traps with like taunt blocker and whatnot and having some protection. This kind of wants to go wide and use like kind of like lots of little annoying things to kind of achieve your desired goal. Like you have the Digivolve, you have Source Strip. So when you combine the Digivolve with Source Strip, you can like turn a 6 into a 4, right? Like if you Source Strip the 5, for example. And then because it's not like a 4, your limited amount of DP minuses matters a lot more. Because like you have some DP minus, but you don't have a ton. So you can kind of like you're slowly picking away at the opponent's stack while developing your board. That's kind of how you want to think about the Uranus deck. Going wide and in a yellow deck means that you have access to generic yellow top end stuff like
Spiral Masquerade is an option. That card just still exists.
Well, it's like, I don't know, meet Hamamon if you really want to.
True. One thing I like about this is Uranusmon is like him and Gaiamon, like Appmon Gaiamon have now shown us like the thing that they're going to do. Because one of the weird things, not weird things, one of the things about the apps is that like they don't have inherits, they just have linked effects. So I like that all of like both of the Appmon 6s we've seen so far have effects that let you use one of your inherits to link to something. So Oranamon, when you play a guy, Oranamon can pass one of his sources over as a link. And when Gaiamon goes sideways or when he attacks, he can link himself with a source.
When he attacks.
No, when he links, he unsuspends.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's like they can both turn their sources into links, which solves their problem of like Appmons don't do anything until they're under you wall sideways, which is neat. It's neat stuff. Anyways, another round of security effects. As
Tom said, the lows are very low. Tom, go over Fakemon.
Fakemon is so frustrating. It's the attempt to make something cohesive, like defensively. Scapegoat is passively like the next. Like if they were trying to be like cheeky and like, guys, remember this keyword we made? This is as good as place as any to use the keyword. But Scapegoat isn't actually good enough defense in 2025 Digimon to keep this thing on the board. But it is nice that you'll have a board of Digimon to pop with Scapegoat. So to an extent, I understand what they're going for. The other problem with Fakemon is that compared to Charismon, this is just not even close. It's a retail 5 that, again, I reiterate, this is not a DNA stack. So, like, this thing won't have rush if it gets played off of, like, chump 4s. Like, you need to make sure this thing will be able to actually commit its pieces. Obviously, you can make blocker with this archetype. The Ricomon gives you blocker as a link effect. But then you're linked Fakemon to a level 3, which is, like, kind of terrible. The main, I would say, like, sticking point I have with Fakemon is that they seem to think we are going to use it as a like chump retail bozo, that we're like, this is like an actual part of this gameplay loop, because it's all turns when it will leave the battle area, you can play something to link to it. So what I've seen people suggest you're supposed to do is like link Aranismons to Fakemon and then scapegoat your other Aranismon to kill a Fakemon to play a free level 6. Like, it's 4 levels.
How do you get Aranismon linked? You can't link.
No, you can link or not Aranismon, sorry, the Entermon. The Entermon, pardon me, not Aranismon. Aranismon is obviously the 6. No, Entermon. Because he has an on play when you'll play him out from Fakemon.
Okay.
It's like like I said, it's like a 4-degree contrived combo that is like ridiculous.
A free level 5. By making a level 5, you can have a free level 5.
No, it's a level 5 that trades with the retail and exchanges itself with 2 level 5s full of level 4s. Like it's convoluted in ways that won't matter.
It's a hard sell in a set that has efficient.
Yeah. What actually will matter is that this is now the second yellow deck they printed this year that gets to use DP3's pop hold. So like there's the Shrinkon, the Tamer's the biggest thing. I forget, Torajiro is every time you do a link, you can suspend him for 2k and then tap for fuse, which is very strong. So you can use that in tandem with the Ethicmon, which is a 4k pop, and you can do that on play or when you link the red one. So it's not unbelievable that you'd be able to get things down to like Marcia said, combination of Shrink and D-Digivolve and Source Strip is really good. Shrink and DP- play into that really well as well, because like if you D-Digivolve, strip a source, and then you send it to like level 3, even if it has a DP buff by an effect of some kind, some amounts of -2s and a 4k pop base, like this just takes things apart one color effect at a time.
It is really interesting that the first Appmon thing they did is like, we gave you a hammer. It's like your 3-button Shoto where you learn the game plan real simple. And then the next Appmon deck they did was like, here is your set play character. To do the same thing, it takes 50 steps. But once you do the thing, you'll be like, I was better.
This is for people like Terry.
Yeah.
The other thing is like, the frustrating part of this is unquestionably this deck will be better than Gaiamon was. Not because Gaiamon isn't good or anything like that. It's because
it goes wide.
No, because it goes wide, but also because of just the last 2 cards on the screen. Like Torajiro and Music of the Heart are just generic Appmon staples. They have no problem with any component. Like you now have another 4 copies you can play of an app driver, which again at link step confuse. So you no longer are like, if I don't find my 4 of Haru, I'm dead. And Music of the Heart is a like bananas consistency card. It is you can use Music of the Heart as the delay to synergize with the Junker. Again, remember Fakemon. Everything comes back to fucking Fakemon. Every time Fakemon's effect will resolve, you'll get a thing that you can then Music of the Heart to start it all over again. It's not good, but it turns him into an all turns potential blocker retail monster that if you remove without hitting, you'll get D-Digivolved. So like he's so stupid. But it makes sense because Fakemon is the worst of the evil masters or whatever the frick they were called in Appmon.
That's my DJ name. Evil Master.
Evil Master. But yeah, this card's a good consistency boost. It's just a draw 1. So you ignore color requirements by having Appmon. It costs 2. And then it's when things are played, you can delay link. So you can, if something gets removed, you can link on your opponent's turn. It's an all turns effect, which is very strong. So like midway through, if like an ace were to remove Fakemon, Fakemon will go spit out a guy, link with Dreammon, and then absolutely cook your shit, which is hilarious.
All right. What are some
That's
of the other like notable things in the set that we can kind
Omnimon?
of?
We should talk about Omnimon. I think
Okay.
it's the
It's just
next
good. It's
Yeah,
just good,
Guru
right?
Greymon.
Guru
Yeah.
Greymon.
So
The Omnis
you want-
need. I think the Omnis eat like I don't. You look at this card if you play Omni.
Decode for the 3s is so fucking funny, man. Eject Gabumon, eject Agumon, very funny.
It's more than that. It's like
Obviously, yeah.
I think like me and Tom are excited about this card for like different reasons. Like for Tom, this is like finally an Omnimon that I can make that doesn't overflow. Ah!
Yeah, like a proactive Omnimon.
Yeah.
I like that this one is red and blue.
It
I
just
like
matters
that-
so much.
I like that the memory boost that has Agumon and Gabumon on it and has had those two on it this entire time can finally find the card that they think that you were going to use that card to find.
Wisteria is good again.
Wisteria is
Yeah.
good. Speaking of good, War Greymon Metal Garurumon.
Yeah, there may be.
Oh, sorry, really quick. Really quick before it goes. If you the other cool thing about the Omni is that like because it has decode on black and yellow,
The Cyber Sleuth rookies.
it looks like the Cyber rookie. So like Palmon is red, and Haguru is black, and then the Terrier is yellow. So all
Yeah.
because you're doing like you always get a rookie off of your Omnimon, which is very neat.
Mhm.
And then like the Omni utilizes the removal in different ways, where like it's removal for like every 2 of the same level. In the CS deck, it's like your bottom end, but in the Omni deck, it's like your 6s, right? So
But also your 3s now if you're
and your
new
3s,
6s.
yeah.
The,
Super
I
neat.
just noticed the transcribed text on card dev is wrong. It's on play when attacking, not on play when digivolving, which is
Oh, yeah.
important because in this actual archetype, like provided you're not making this thing using
It's when attacking.
Mega Knight.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That transcription is wrong. So it deletes lowest DP up to the amount of times it attacks. So it can attack with the Melga unsuspends, and it attacks during the actual effective BT17 mat.
Oh my god, guys!
So-
It even has on play Royal Knight support.
Just completely, actually, yeah, it's Royal Knight support.
15 Papa card. Wow.
You can pop the floodgate and pass
Yeah,
more than
true.
just one.
And then he has like super blitz as well, which is really strong. So
Yeah.
there's the nice thing about this is that like they did a good job of tying, like we're gonna mention this a couple times. Some characters in this set got like found a way to tie in 2 stack effects together with their own archetype. So like there's Galaxy support here that obviously naturally works. DNA decks will have the same level that will naturally work. Yeah. The nice we talk about Melga and Warg right here.
They're so good.
They're like
They're so
approaching the
good.
problem from the other direction. So instead of needing to hard play, you have Nokia and you can warp. The like real strong part of that is that they just kind of made these Digimon stronger than the War Greymon certainly is better. The Melga is maybe a side grade.
Stunning a Tamer is really
Stunning a Tamer is very good.
Stunning a
But
Tamer.
this
War
pops
Greymon's
lowest
crazy.
DP. Yeah, so if your opponent's single stacking it right now, War Greymon, that's basically anything.
Still very good cards.
Pretty sweet.
The biggest upgrade, the single
Yeah.
biggest upgrade that this
They
deck
weren't
got
messing
is that
around with Nokia.
Agrumon. It's that one fucking Agrumon. That chat that says on play and not start of main phase. Do you know how big? Do you know how many games I've lost if I just had this text on a card? If I could just go, add a and there's footage on KnTElixar of me just like digging and digging and digging, and I was like, if only I had an Agrumon that on play added back a piece
Dude,
in my
what if-
Omnimon deck.
I'll do you one better, Marcio. What if instead of having to play 4 searchers that don't work in your deck, they printed a searcher that searches everything and then some?
And then
The
some.
new-
Welcome,
Welcome,
Agumon.
Gabumon. The most pushed searcher of 2025. Like, I complain religiously that it's cringe that the red searchers don't find each other, but what in the hell? Like,
Blue
it
searcher
can
that
find
finds red
everything.
searcher.
Yeah, it's out of this world. So yeah, this card's fantastic. These 2 are like the consistency boost this archetypes need, and then Nokia is like
Yeah,
Daiken!
know- Nokia.
Daiken!
yeah, we know
Nokia
how
is
to.
like half a Daiken in the good way. It's
One KDP chat, no longer. You lose to Alpha.
It says Omnimon. It says Omnimon.
yeah, it's pretty funny. The Nokia is very strong.
No, but
pretty-
Tom, it doesn't play. How do we play the Tamers for free?
Oh, dude, I haven't worked it out yet. Let me know if you figure it out.
So slow, 5 memory.
Yeah, good thing it isn't on play. That's Omnimon by and large. The advantages this has over just playing Alter S and then Future DNA. Alter S still very good. There's still Alter S OTK stuff you can do with like Island of Adventure. Like there's all the quirky weird stuff you can try. This has the advantage of being named Omnimon, so if you like Omni-X, you can evolve it over that, which is actually pretty relevant.
I heard good things about
France
that
on
card.
France.
No, this one's not French. This is Dutch,
Just
right?
another-
Yeah, this is Dutch Omnimon.
Dutch Omni.
Yeah.
What do you mean? That motherfucker's red, white, and blue. K-Kona, brother.
Oh, my bad. USA. Baby.
USA.
It's
What
not
the
an
fuck
appropriate
is a
time to do that right now.
cultivator?
It's not. Really not.
Let's wrap up a couple more. I think we're gonna talk about a load of those in a sec.
Okay, I can summarize all force for you. The new cards are very good. Like,
Yeah, I don't know why people are mad
Evade
about-
2!
so
The
you
thing
have
that people
Super
aren't-
Evade.
There's like a bunch of cards in 22 that need the store participation pack. You also have a new Demi Vmon that
The
just
Digimon that
draws.
draws a card is very good.
So it's
Like
just
you
like-
don't have to swing to draw your card anymore. The first time you play
Yeah.
arena, the first arena you play in your combo will. It's BT7 Dory versus BT13 Dory, right? It's like you don't want
Yeah.
to draw when you swing. You want to draw before you have to swing.
Jamba broke the combo down for me that like the arena that they printed in this is like the first arena that you really don't care when it comes down because no matter when it comes in, it's like
But you can also spin herself back to hand.
Yeah, and like she's like 0.5 of a combo for you whenever you like she's like step 1.5 in an all force pop off at any moment. So like she's down, she gives you memory to actually search and stuff, but like when you need to begin all force comboing, you can reset the resource, which is very strong.
Very good.
Why would I want DP if I have jamming?
Good cards.
Yeah.
Good cards.
Yeah, there's
All Force
also-
Ace is all Force Ace is also very good because the
No,
your-
he isn't. He sucks. Why would I play all force?
your
Ace?
inherits on your 4s and your 3s work on your 5 because your 5 is still named Vidramon. So like, wow.
No,
you
he
know.
overflows and it doesn't
He is
play
also- he
infinite
also-
numbers.
He does also bounce and swing twice in Royals. Don't think about that.
Yeah, he's so good in Royals. Like I keep
No,
talking about,
guys,
like,
he
a really
sucks.
control heavy Royal.
He
Knight.
overflows. Stop
that.
having fun. I'm saying he sucks. Listen to me.
Yeah, you're right. I know there's nothing fun about all
Can-
Force being good is bad for the game.
Can we talk about Diaboromon now? I want to talk about the Diaboromon
I
cards.
feel
I
like,
think
yeah,
they're
we
really
do
cool.
Diaboromon and we save the rest of like the CS specific stuff probably to when
The
we
tricks
do
like fucking
Yeah.
The
the
full-
tricks guest episode.
Yeah. Save the Alphamon for when
Wait,
someone
what-
will be happy to talk.
What are we saving it for? Let's talk about the cards.
Yeah,
We're doing a set review, right?
Harry does not want to talk about
No,
that.
I will talk about it. Just the things that I will say will not be as nice.
If you want to wait, Harry, I'll talk about my 3-card dinosaur package that changed the deck.
Those are actually really cool. But I
They're
want to talk about
bananas.
Diaboromon. The Diaboromon
It's
stuff is
like-
really cool.
Yeah, one of them is good.
Huh?
One of them
cards
is
are
really
good.
good. One of them is really good.
What
I
do you mean one?
The new Karamon. This is like a marginally like.
The
side grade-
KBeeDS has the same inherit.
This is like a side grade version of like the original OG Karamon that searched really good chat. So like this card is like an actually more viable like modern.
This finds a Rata. That's like the
Yeah,
main
this finds
thing.
a
It has
Yeah,
to
this
find.
will-
Yeah, it finds.
but it has the protection, which is nice.
A Rata
So-
makes me sad. You are wrong. Yes, you are wrong. You haven't played like a control deck that needs a tamer to like control the board. You are wrong.
It's
You
not. that
learn
bad,
to love the
actually.
errata
Yeah,
because
the errata is
it's,
pretty tight.
it's a redirect. You learn to
Yeah.
love a redirect when
my
your
stuff
gets
already
suspended.
has. My stuff already has block. Wait, what do you mean it's all sideways?
Like
You,
letting
you
them
learn
resolve.
to a mem setter named errata that redirects. That's just easy, buddy. You learn to love it.
You did miss puppets. The long and short of it is that they're good.
The main one, Harry wants to talk about Kurisari. It does.
It's the inherit and it plays your second errata. It plays the second errata, and the second errata matters so much. Also, they made a Diaboromon that reads that reads "kill another man dead in the streets."
It sure did, but the actual good card in this line is the Inframon. The Inframon is out of this world. This card is phenomenal. It is pop fight, play cost 5 or lower. Then if you have errata, can't be DP minus or return to hand or deck until the end of their turn. This card brought Diaboromon Ace back from the fringes in a way that I don't think people are ready for. It makes EX6 Diaboromon a better accelerant than ever before, and it makes the new one like a little assault weapon.
No, you're not tossing EX. Okay,
EX6 Kara doesn't search the new errata.
He doesn't search new errata, but he searches old errata, and like new errata is good, but old errata is the card that people are like, oh god, it does say
The cool
gain a
thing
memory
about-
return no matter what.
A
And
cool
makes it
thing
so good.
about the infer is that like all the other infers would like the Digivolve stuff. to like help you like control the
Play
opponent's
yellow
board.
for-
This one makes
Look at the
tokens, so
Joker!
when you use your protection to pop a token, then you refund your token, which is kind of neat.
Yeah.
And if you use a suspended token that, say for example, you allianced with, you can pop the suspended token and make a fresh token that's unsuspended. Wow, crazy.
But Marcio, if they're suspended, they can't use the blocker keyword. And there's no other way to redirect attacks without the blocker keyword.
With that,
Errata
Andrew, why
first
are you
or the
scrolling down?
You want to read errata first or the Diaboromon?
It's my favorite hybrid. Hey, look, it's my favorite hybrid tamer.
But yeah, Alliance on
Diaboromon, fucking
Diaboromon
cool.
is very funny. It's actually
Why not
anti-Johnny.
kick?
They have decided that they're tired of Johnny picking up 18 tokens, and he wants you to end the game in 3 swings.
Yes,
think-
it's so good, man. It's so like converting like the tokens into actual damage is so peak.
It's also like a Diaboromon that makes 2 tokens in a single turn is like always a thing to celebrate. Like it makes
And
one
gives you
out of all,
deletion.
one. Yeah, exactly. Like he does everything. Like he's very, very good.
Let's say they try to interact with you, you protect yourself, you pop your token, you make a token on the opponent's
This
turn,
is
you trigger your
Kaguya-mon.
alt turn. This is Kaguya-mon.
This is just Kaguya-mon, but a Diaboromon. And like as we have learned recently, Kaguya-mon is pretty good. In fact, this makes more body. Obviously, Kaguya-mon makes real Digimon, which is stronger because you can evolve over them. But this makes 2 Diaboras. That's 2 Diaboromons. Would you rather have 1 Diaboromon or 2 Diaboromon?
It's interesting because it's like much like how Omnimon is getting this same wave of support. This is a proactive version of the effect that the Ace gave you, where it was when Digivolving, when attacking, produced the board. And if you ask good Diaboromon players, all of them will tell you that the Ace is their favorite. So maybe there's something in this glue sniffing animal that people
other
are
thing as
flocking
well
because
that's
they're not
very
good at the deck.
The Inframon is even like there's so many funny things about this card. The Inframon is like Omega silly just for also randomly being on play. So like if you're on the back foot and you're going to your +4 memory because Errata has literally no condition other than congratulations Caramon died, then you go to like your however much memory and you slam your Inframon, and yellow and blue decks and some green decks cannot remove it before going to combat. Which means that they might get Diabora aced, which,
Ace
obviously
with
doesn't
protection, oh
it doesn't have the-
crazy.
yeah,
You don't
Ace
have
with
to
protection.
overflow. Ooh.
obviously it doesn't have the D-Digi inherit that the other Inframons do, but like it's still, it's a.
I'd rather just kill a thing. I'd rather just straight up kill a thing.
It is a thing in your toolbox.
I love murder in game.
In game. It is a thing in your toolbox. Also, if you spawn a Diaboromon token on your opponent's turn and you theoretically have a way to make your opponent swing into it for some reason, then you can get a new token off the Inframon inherit. It's cool.
I'm reading that
These cards are
correctly
good.
though, right? This only evolves for 3 over the new Infamon, and everything else you have to
No,
pay
just
for.
Inframon.
No,
Sorry,
no,
the slash there
slash.
symbolizes 3 over any Inframon or level 5s that are CSs.
Sick. All right.
I would
cool.
say Inframon with CS trade. If
Yeah,
it needs
honestly,
to
I
go
just
with
didn't see
new
the slash.
No, yeah. So this is. Oh, also, this is a thing that I like pointing out because I enjoy doing it. For control decks like this, variable Evo costs sometimes matter. So being able to decide that you'd like to use the Diaboromon to pass a little bit, like, you pay 1 more to evolve for 4, so you choke to 1 perfectly while getting your Diaboromon in play is a real thing.
But
Like,
then you don't alliance and you don't get to push damage.
yeah, but you know what I mean? Like, flexibility, like, having more options is better than not having options.
Neat card.
Neat cards. I
Do we
like the
wanna
Diaboromon
talk
stuff.
Eaters whilst we're on the topic of Diaboromon?
You can do that.
The
You can do
errata-
Do that.
okay.
I'm good.
Andrew,
Go off. I don't.
Go nuts.
cool. They take the
Andrew,
quirky control deck
go
away.
Go nuts.
No, okay, look. For one, I'm still waiting to
Funny
see
hybrid
hybrid.
on
like,
Twitter.
This is the world's funniest hybrid.
It's not. It's
Actually, wait, yeah, Alphamon's in this set. Never mind, this isn't even a funny hybrid.
It's the world's foiliest bookmark.
True.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way they waste an alt slot on this, right?
No, this.
Yeah.
I mean, you go ahead, Andrew.
No, I just mostly like, obviously, Arata had to serve 2 functions because he's going to be the tamer that shows up as the memory setter for Eaters as well as, for Diaboromon. But obviously, as a result of them mentioning both, they're like, you could maybe get the Eaters to work in Diaboromon. I just mostly want to see if people actually think that you will play Eater Adam in Diaboromon because
It's a hybrid.
it is.
It's a bad hybrid. Just
a-
play Crumblebon.
It doesn't have a blitz or anything like that, so it will not hybrid for game.
Yeah, I haven't thought about a lot of when go wide decks are good. You don't tend to have trouble getting the last hit for game.
Yeah.
And Diaboromon is trying to be a good go wide deck.
I don't know. The Eaters look interesting to me. I feel like they're like a wave of support behind. Hey, the fact that we have a memory boost by the funniest consequence of them deciding like if you in the game, you get your little stamp, and that means that this black yellow option is actually the search.
Black white memory boost.
This deck. Oh god, this deck.
Black white
movie
memory
memory
boost
boost.
exists. It's on screen right now.
I mean this in the most sincere way. If this deck doesn't, if Hacker's memory does not, as a whole set, contain the letters CS, Eaters is the worst deck ever printed.
No, we know that we saw they released a little blurb saying that it will contain support for CS.
We know it's exactly CS.
I think so.
Because if the Eaters say HM, that deck is cooked forever.
Where was it? Shibai.
Did it say Cyber Sleuth?
I don't know. I'm in like 7 different Digimon servers. I don't know who posted what, honestly.
We'll see. Regardless.
Can we just have like one big Digimon server from now on? It would make my life really easy.
I want to be on Discord Digimon. You kidding me?
Yeah, that is true. Never mind.
I'm good.
If somebody tells
if somebody too many fights as it.
If somebody tells me that the Leopardmon Ace is bad again, I'll fucking like kill
But
someone.
it overflows.
Yeah,
should we actually talk about the Eater cards, by the way? We didn't even talk about
so Andrew can do that.
The problem Andrew came up with here is Andrew's defense of what the Eater cards does is he went, but you guys read errata a minute ago, right?
No, I literally was just like I mean, we're talking about them as like, some of these tamers are Eater cards and also play in their own archetype, and they've done the great thing where they actually play well in their archetype, unlike some of the Royal Knights where they don't play very well in the deck they're supposed to be in. Eaters feels kind of undercooked.
I'll stab you myself.
Eaters
I know where you
feels
live.
pretty undercooked right now, and I don't know. It's one of those decks that where you have 50 plus of one card, it feels really weird to try and start initially deck building until you can kind of see what all the pieces are. And now that we're getting ults, we know what all the pieces are, and it doesn't feel like the pieces do a lot. So I am going to build it because of course I am. And it's only because the cards are cool to look at. You can't tell me that this isn't the coolest.
You spent so long being so angry that Galaxy was not Galaxy and was instead this vehicle.
Oh no,
by
I'm gonna
which
play
to
that too.
Just like
Harry, I'm going to play that
I feel like a
too.
man dying of dehydration in the desert, watching other people drown.
No, I'm going to play Galaxy as well, but
Okay.
like the only deck that
We can
I'm
stop
interested
calling it that. We can call it Grace Novamon if you want.
Yeah, we
He's
can
got
call it Grace
inherits!
Nova.
The sixes do things.
But like
He gets back up.
Eaters was the deck that interested me the most from it. I have found as more and more of the cards come out for 22, I'm not as excited about the set as I thought I would be. And it's like, I want to build Eaters, and I will obviously update Grace Nova so I can finally take those cards out of the box they've been sitting in since EX5. So I'm excited to play that stuff, but like in terms of like what I want to build, it's Eaters, and I'm just not really expecting to do a whole lot with them.
One guy in the chat said something that I want to bring up. I think the Gaiumon stuff is really interesting for like the problem it has is that like I feel like the Gaiumon itself, they wanted its power level to be exactly enough to make you read it and go, that's a cool card, but not read it and go, I will play this over purchasing promo Gaiumons from Box Topper Pack BT21. Yuko's cool though.
It has things it does, but like
yeah, I mean, okay, it lets you raid. It lets you raid into suspended Digimon, right? Like that's relevant.
Like I think it's psycho to assess this card when we know Black War Grandmon's getting a set where he's on the front
That is the
box.
other thing as well.
Like, it's just nuts to talk about.
I think the thing in my mind that matters the most though is that like it's Yuko herself is very strong, right? Like that's the is that her name? I've been calling her this with my
Yuko is the
like
Gaiumon
what
chick.
She's Memsetter and start of main start of main gain 1 when you raid or block gain 3 KDP and unaffected.
Yep.
Like
she is almost in combination with Yu Yakuga a full net of protection for a Greymon stack when it goes off.
What, you only lose to tamer effects, right?
Tamer effects.
Daiken once again.
Well, yeah, but you're playing War Greymon,
But you
so
kill
maybe
it.
you
I was just saying,
out
yeah.
the damn Tamer card, huh? It's an interesting concept. I think like I've played I've played so much of this deck over the past 5 years that I want to tell you now that considering the relevant power level of the format that this is coming into, these cards don't matter. They're cool.
Yeah.
This is a drastically better Cyber Sleuth card. somehow eat
I mean,
card. New Greymon card right now.
The other thing to point out is like I think the other important card here is the Rise Greymon.
The Rise Greymon's the best card of
the Rise Greymon is like they did it. Like it does, you know, this is BT 12 Metal Greymon, but it doesn't have to go to combat, and it can play the same amount memory worth of tamers. Because like you don't need like Greymon is not a deck that needs 12 tamers to win. Greymon is a deck that needs one of each of the two that it is trying to like build around to accomplish it. So in case of a Black War Greymon control deck, you need to find now a Yuko and whatever the kid from 11 is called. I'm bad at his name.
Yuya Kuga.
You need one Yuya and one Yuko, and then that is your, you know, I'm a strap in, I'm a live forever motherfucker.
Yeah,
Also,
the other advantage you'll get from these cards is that like Greymon as a toolbox deck is like a difficult identity to actually assess, because like the things you want depend on your tamers and top end. And the thing Gaiumon has never wanted that the other two really, really want is piercing. Gaiumon is the only one that just consistently gets piercing. So this not being, like H said, this is the Metal Greymon with an upside for Gaiumon specifically. You don't need to worry about the piercing from the Metal Greymon. A sec attack is good. They just printed the EX9 Metal Greymon, which is another sec attack source. There's a lot of relevant power level being pushed Gaiumon and by proxy Black War Greymon's way, which again, September is coming soon. This card's good, and it's not as good as the promo 90% of the time. Making the assessment of why this card will see play is contingent on a format, and you should never, ever discount the ability to basically get to choose what you raid into. Raid is balanced by your opponent having counterplay, and this card takes it away. So also he's like, welcome back Boncho Stingmon. He's 18,000 DP. Fight forever. Yeah. Gaiumon has a lot of like potential future design space that they'll explore, but nothing else matters about this card until September is over.
So is this everything that isn't CS?
No, we're not even close, by the way.
Lord Daimon! Kill
There's also KnTeLixar to talk about. There's all
I can give you KnTeLixar. The new cards are very good. You get a Gato, a cheap Evo, and a KnTeLixar that's like okay. The cards are like really, really exciting, but I don't think we're getting like a top end for this deck. This deck like desperately needs KnTeLixar X or KnTeLixar's burst mode. Like
the Kieran
that's like the thing about
the Kieran does say KnTeLixar in name though, so get excited.
Yeah, like the shell that is like the KnTeLixar deck that people remember from like the BT13 EX5 days of like, you know, horse gaming control. That deck got a massive facelift, but we need like the thing to tie everything up into a little
need a thing
package.
To put on top of KnTeLixar that finishes the game up.
Finishes the game, or is some
because
kind of like
the problem of these cards.
Or...
The problem of these cards, where it's like, you know, they accelerate the game down to both players with combined 6 security, is that it now means that both players have a combined security of 6, which means probably you set 2 of your own on fire. Yeah. A lot of decks can do 3 damage really, or sorry, 3 damage plus direct really easily.
The Kieran independently will make its way into Cyber Sleuth. Like the Kieran is...
Oh, the Kieran's crazy.
It's very, very good in Cyber Sleuth.
Combos with Kirby to get your security low. This actually does matter. Also, it makes the Alphamon a -9 on one of its swings, so it's -13, I think. No, wait.
The DP...
-14.
Sorry, the DM stuff, Tom, is there like... What do we get in the DM?
There are notable power increases to the DM decks in this set. We should start with V1.
What is Leopard doing here? Leopard mode! Leopard mode! DM!
It might have been better to search version.
No, it's just Leopardmon. Like Leopard Mon.
DM.
Oh, yeah.
Let's start with V1. The Monze and Shin Monze should have been in the first set, but they are notable in a couple ways. Armor Purge being given to this deck is huge because you can basically have like your Numemons convert into this thing consistently. And then it is it's a when Digivolving hate, which is one of the strongest things they like to sprinkle into yellow every now and then. So being given to V1 is very strong. But the more notable component to this that I think is powerful is just being able to sprinkle DP minus in when you have a Metal Greymon. You can hard play that then pops based on numbers. Like yellow plus red is the most efficient way to use DP removal. It's very strong.
I think it's very cute that they've also made sure to keep this away. Like they've they really want these DM cards to not be played outside of like DM style decks. Like they made sure that the Nume
Yes.
and Monze, the Suka, the Etta, they don't play with their other decks. So like this being when digivolving when attacking instead of on play when digivolving is like that. Don't you go pick this up. Armor Purge is cute though.
Somebody
the
said
other
like,
thing,
not
go
having
ahead.
the border fucking sucks.
Oh, it's
It's
super
so
cringe.
lame.
Yeah,
It's so
they
lame.
didn't. They put Wind Guardians and a Diaboromon in my BEX9 and ruined the set.
Whoa,
That's fine.
buddy.
Anyway, Monzemon's actual relevant part of text is going to come up 4 more times while we talk about DM today. It's the when any of your V1s would evolve into this card, reduce the evolution. Turn 3 onwards, DM isn't paying to evolve. Like people, there's like 6 people I know who have played this deck. But this card and Shin Monzemon, holy shit, they don't cost anything. Shin Monzemon is reduce the cost by 2 flat for evolving into this thing. So it costs 3 to go into it from all of your DM stuff. And you're not paying to go into your 5 half the time. So the combination of all of these things together, plus if you like a turn skip, this deck is becoming the turn skip deck. Because the Numemon end of turn into like a metal gray, kill something with overflow, take the turn back, turn into this thing, kill something else. Like it's getting kind of crazy how quickly this deck turns into a board. The Shin Monzemon especially is maybe like the most direct, like we know you don't like swinging with with Blitz Greymon because aces are vulnerable, blah blah blah. If you haven't like worked out, like the idea is just this is a sec attack bozo with armor purge, so you can use your security inherit more efficiently. This will increase the pace of gameplay that you actually operate at. But the best part is that because you have like V1 is blessed by having what's he called? The ball. Omnimon. The V1 is blessed with Omnimon. And Omnimon being to spawn your second body, which you can then use to turn this thing in, because like being able to stack the sources. Like when something gets played from Omnimon's effect, analog use can trigger on your DM cards. So you can load the Shin Monzemons up by using the Omnimon you're already using in your regular gameplay pattern. It's just a ton of flexibility this archetype randomly gets from 2 cards. It's sort of pushed out of its mind. The next best one is definitely Vegemon and Vademon. Vegemon is this is V3, right?
V2.
Yeah, it's V3. Or V2? Of course he's V2, my bad. This one's good because you can turn into Metal Omnimon. So if you're sick of losing to Royal Knights and V2 wasn't already beating Royal Knights hard enough, this one will turn into an out to Royal Knights from the trash.
It's a patched card, right? It's like a card that they didn't have in the main set that they just like the end of turn.
This
like
is them getting the end of turn guy.
Yeah,
it's really funny. I rewatched episode 48 recently when you guys had H on. Sorry, 47 when you guys had H on and did like your mini DM set review without me. Very funny, by the way. And Harry was like, yeah, you know, as long as you've got a Metal Omnimon in rotation, I don't know how you'd ever lose to Mega. They made it so you don't need to worry about keeping your Metal Omnimons in rotation. So V2 is like maybe, like, other than, I guess, Nature Spirits spawning infinite Otamamons, this is like the best counter to hard play Bozo deck I've ever seen. The Omnimon has Fragment.
This was not my guess for first thing to get this first outside like rock deck to get this keyword.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Once again.
How does Fragment work with face downs? Can you fragment the face?
Yeah, dude.
You can fragment the face downs. Awesome.
Yeah. And it is it works the same way where like you basically stop paying, and then it's de-digivolve when digivolving, so it's functionally a free de-digivolve, which is pretty gross.
In black.
Yeah. The other thing is it's a redirect inherit, so this is like an actual bit of defensive utility for the V1 V2 pile. It means like if you choose to keep your Omnimon alive, it works that way, which is nice. I don't necessarily think you'll see a V2 spike getting played. But it's just sort of the thing that you can like use to swing this bozo in. And,
have you considered why Fragment? Have you considered it's very funny?
I think
like,
it's actually,
like objectively, it is very funny.
It is.
It's really easy to call your cards.
You ever dropped your feed pet and the screen gets cracked, but it still works? Boom.
No, it's because he like moves rubble around, right? Like
probably. Anyway, I don't know.
The actual gameplay pattern is just use your face downs.
I was gonna say, from a gameplay perspective, what they've done is they've managed to put like 2 identities for Armor Purge.
Defensive
technically
5.
doesn't have a color, but they like putting it on the Monzemon. But basically, what they've done is they've made it so you have 2 5s that can effectively swing and trade or like comfortably go sideways into security. and then you make a 6 on top of it, because like, the Monze has armor purge, so you can play defensively. Diaboromon having fragment is effectively the same as armor purge in that it keeps the stack on board. They've just put 2 like protections, quote unquote. Yes, I mean, I guess it still stays in black flavor, but just like looking at it as the only other DM level 5 in the set next to another guy that just has armor purge in that slot, it kind of just is like, yeah, here's some protection, here's the way of keeping your stack on board so you don't explode to removal, which I watched happen a lot today as I was recording audio for footage. So yeah, more protection.
It's also
good.
that these are the idea is that these are 5s you want to like. Analog Man kind of skews the way you deck build this archetype, because like it doesn't actually matter what you do with your 4s as long as you like fulfill enough training. Like do training 4 times in a game and you're probably ahead enough that you can get away with murder. These are the first 5s to change that, because like all their power is in when digivolvings. So like you're not getting away with just like I make my 4 does some bozo stuff, and then I like slam a 5. And between Analog Men giving me memory back and Analog Youths giving me memory back, it doesn't matter what else I was doing. This does act to change that in a way. Whether or not it's enough to like mean that won't just be the best way to build the deck will be interesting. The other thing that I think is funny about like the Monzemon and Vadamon is they had to be once per turn because of protein. This is gonna come up a couple times because like the protein OTK is like an actual thing that you have to worry about now that like especially V1 can just do like 3 damage in 1 turn and then unsuspend and kill you with a protein. Like you'll die if you don't present a board, you're dead on turn 3 against V1, which is like kind of the design choice, right? So we'll see what they do. The last one is Raidenmon. Raidenmon is a notable quality decrease. He's really good for his specific version of like what they want out of his DM deck. V5 needs a machine that doesn't like peter out into nothingness. I just don't think it's
dead.
My thing is, from what I've heard of like the people that I trust on this deck, they said this card's really good.
Yeah, it's just not like I think people were expecting the power level of Machine Dramon, which is insane because that's a secret rare. This is a uncommon ace. But I think the card itself is like, it does what you need V5 to do.
Uncommon ace, by the way, Eden format.
Yeah. Final.
An ace in Eden.
Yeah, an ace in Eden. No, the actual value is like getting to like abuse and use collision correctly is like really strong. It's suspend, unsuspend. So like you can unsuspend one of your beaters, suspend something, or like unsuspend one of their guys you're trying to kill with collision. Like there's like very specific points of interaction that this card does. So I'm a fan. I just think V5 doesn't need a ton of help. What I do think this card does is it makes DM good stuff deck better. This is like the thing you threaten over Chimeramon. I think it's individually stronger than either Blitz or Cress in that regard. And then I guess a High Endramon is fine too, but this one's stronger than High Endramon, so you'd play this one. Yeah, that's DM. You want to talk about Leopardmon because he was there?
I mean, the card's decent.
It's a good guy.
Like,
The card,
even
the card
I can tell it's good, and I like don't play
the
this
card
card.
is very specific for like cha-cha sliding, but like if you really like think about the applications of playing something that is like from DP and not play cost, you'll find some neat things that you can do with the card that, yeah.
Welcome
So stop
back
baby
to the
raging.
Pokemon.
Yeah, stop baby raging over the ace. The card is good.
It's cool that you can trigger his unplay with a Leopardmon X.
Yeah, it's really neat. Like you get a much bigger board because it's an on play that plays something else out. So him being played plays something else out. I don't know, man. I don't understand like all these like tourist Leopardmon players that claim to have played the deck and like show up every like now and then to just like misspread information. Let people like me and dedicated Leopardmon players, people that really know how to leverage it. Jambo has played Leopardmon, and Jambo agreed that.
Yeah, I would give Jambo.
And Jambo's like, this card is crazy.
I'd give Jambo his flowers.
Yeah. This card's good.
There's from this point, there's basically like, I didn't talk about Datamon. Can we talk about Datamon? Sorry.
The last DM card.
Datamon is immunity. He's like randomly like he's a V5 card. He's a V5 card, so like that may actually come up in a certain sense. But like more importantly, he's a second taunt for V5 machine.
End of turn taunt.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah,
even see
which is
that.
which is like actually pretty relevant. Again, Raidenmon will like this too, but
I like
the,
that they're printing end of turn taunts again because start of main taunts are fucking obnoxious.
Yeah, there's this one is on play, so this one they had to change its value in a different way, so this one play costs 6, so it can't trigger Analog Man, which is hilarious. It's a great way to balance the card.
Oh yeah, it's a machine.
Yeah,
Yeah, because you would use
well,
this
it
as,
doesn't
like-
matter. It's a machine. It's a DM card.
Oh yeah, that's a.
Yeah, I mean,
but,
you would use
yeah.
this in machine regardless to not make your guy, and they go, okay, Digivolve 1, bye.
Wait, I thought Machine couldn't pick this up though, because Machine has to pick up cyborgs.
No, he can
He
pick
can
up DM
cyborg a
cards.
machine.
He can pick up DM cards.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It doesn't matter in a ton of ways. Like the thing about this is like it will get away with murder because like it has the protections and
Oh,
stuff
yeah,
like that.
cyborg.
Sorry, it picks up a V5 trade card.
Luckily, he's a V5. It's weird that it's not cyborg,
Yeah.
or machine, or the.
He doesn't-
No,
he doesn't pick
no,
up
no,
cyborg.
hang on, Andrew. The thing you are currently describing is Machine pick up EX1 Machine gain 5 memory.
No, I mean it's always level 5 or lower.
Oh, the level 5 restriction.
It's always
sure.
been level. It's always been level 5 or lower. But I'm used to it just being cyborg or machine. But this
Yeah,
time-
sorry, in chat, yes, it does matter that it's DM. Sorry, V5, not DM, but it's broadly speaking the same difference in this case. The last things in this set are like disparate packages of
Galaxy?
support. There's Galaxy, there's Dinosaurs, there's Lord Knight, I think, by my count.
Not me right. Kill Manny! Again!
There's also a Gamamon. There's 2 Gamamon cards.
Okay, I can tell you right now. They're kind of whatever.
The green
Like-
one's better than the blue one, right?
Yeah. So bring up the blue one again.
He's like one attacking low draw.
Swinging at 4 is like okay, because like the role that he fulfills is like the purple guys, but like the purple guy from RBO1 is just better because he blows himself up, so you trigger like your inherits a bit better. Like if you're playing the deck correctly and not like a single stack boring like turbo loser deck. The Wenzen, the jamming access is so whatever. Like you get so much DP, jamming doesn't matter. The Wenzen is weird because like it combines both Wenzens in terms of like one-time blocker plus DP until end of opponent's turn, which is like
And
kind of
piercing
relevant.
less.
That's what I was gonna say next. So because you get blocker 1 turn, but that doesn't really matter. The all turns DP probably matters more because you have taunt. And you have like taunt collision. So there's like something there. The piercing is like okay. Like the deck already clears so much board that it's like I'm giving Gallantmon piercing. Like, what am I piercing over at this point? Unless it's like straight up can't be DP removed.
Well, you say that
Yeah.
like the Sirius does have
Sorry,
raid, so like this would mean that
Yeah.
you're no longer having to play raid as like the final piece of the puzzle for like popping things. Now you actually are getting to play for that final bit of board and get your damage through.
Yeah, that is very true. My experience playing Gamma is that like there's not a ton this format that can't straight up like be DP like can't be deleted, right? And like the Gammamon deck deletes like 20 times. Like you have so many ways to delete something. So like if the thing that I can't delete, I have to punch over. I'm not that pressed about missing out on a little bit of damage. The main thing that I don't like about this Wenzen is because it's not blocker keyword, it's a much worse card to loop off of Proxima. For like your double blocker set, like bringing back like blockers, like sometimes it will like it only places from hand to gain blocker, right? So it's like if your hand doesn't have something to play, like you're negging your hand to gain blocker. So it's like it's just like no, I don't like it. These cards happen to be in the set. They will not, in my opinion, they will not make their way into the Gammamon current deck.
I'll talk about Dinosaurs super quick because I originally wanted to. We may still do it as like a Boko thing because I've been doing dinosaur drafts the same way I was doing Galaxy drafts. But there are 3 cards here and they're all fantastic. The discussion about like start with the cards before I talk about everything else. The Agumon is recursion because it's part purple, so it needed that, I guess. This matters because your 4 of Dynamon is a pain in the butt to keep track of in a long game, and Agumon solves the problem just for no reason. It's a scramble target too, should you be playing the green base. I think that will kind of prove to be the version that you should play down the line.
Yes. Me and
Because,
Tom have agreed many times.
Green dinosaurs are stronger than red dinosaurs. IMO, the problem is you just can't use trainings to find Ryutaro, so they'll get there one day. The more important thing is that the combat memory effect is all turns. That matters so much. The next one is the strongest of the 3. I think Metal Tyrannomon X is still going to get his flowers, but this card's broken. This is a half compromise of the promo Tyrannomon X, in that you can still do the combat evolution, it's just not for a reduced cost. But the more prevalent part of this is it's a floodgate killer in native archetype, which means that you don't waste your 5 removal by playing like Master Tyranno to kill a Pomumon. This thing will do it for you. And then same inherit and stuff like that.
Which Dark Tyrannomon are you playing though?
You don't play Dark Tyranno, you can just play Tyrannomon.
Yeah, but
it's Tyrannomon without the X antibody name.
Yeah, but the pop calls for Dark Tyranno.
Yeah, you're playing X antibodies.
Oh, yeah, I guess you're revolving an attack stat, my bad.
It's a cool boy deck. You can also just play the EX8 Dark Tyranno. I actually don't hate the card. I just think there are like other advantages to like, it's a cool boy deck.
Yeah.
The last one of the 3, the last one of the 3 is Metal Tyrannomon. I think he got made black instead of purple.
Yeah, he's
his collision effect is maybe the best part of this card. Well, there's no bad part of this card, but in terms of like your actual dinosaur play pattern, you can evolve into this in the trigger collision, right? Because collision is just keyword timing. Like it's not like a thing that can miss.
Yeah, if you gain collision,
if you have collision, and then upon attack resolution, your opponent must declare blockers.
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah. So 4K DP when digivolving in tandem with collision means that you no longer have to like commit the full 9 yards to making a Dynamon. The first thing you do, you can.
And you have Master Tyranno as well. Sorry, regular Tyrannomon start of main to also gain like 3,000 as well.
You get huge. But the like really crazy part is it's what's he called? It's Mega Gargomon Ace. You stop things evolving. And then
really good in your deck that wants to swing at stuff.
Yeah, you have the
or force the opponent to swing into something with its ESS.
When still 2 memory. The memory itself is more like it's a nice extender on your turn, and it's a good way to punish them for needing to like commit pieces early. This taunt is just to keep stuff off the board, which is nice. But like the main thing is
if your opponent plays a Surge in a past turn, you tag it with this, and then they have to they can't evolve over it, so they have to swing it, and when they swing it, you'll get 2. It's like
absolutely. This nice. I feel is the like preeminent like I truly think you should be playing X antibody BT9 in here. X antibody BT9 in this deck now went from like pretty good
we got
to
a
like
cool
very,
new
very
reprint
strong.
for them.
Yeah, they did a really good job with that, coincidentally. I don't necessarily think there's a wrong way to build dinosaurs outside of like the 3 or 4 things we already know we like. It's a shame that there's just no color consistency across dinosaurs. Like it's the number one problem the deck is facing at the minute is just like, what the hell support do you give this thing? Like
Green Ryutaro.
What boost am I playing? It's
green memory boost.
Yeah, I have an easier time determining like how they want me to build nature spirits than this, because like they've just not given it one through line. But the cards are very powerful, and I think it will make an impact. I actually think there is a case where like straight up like a Dynamon could it answers a lot of problems I have against the decks that seem to be good in this set. Last is Lord Nightmon. We could talk about the Tamer first because that's actually relevant.
I thought it was like Galaxy. Or we're not.
I want to talk about Galaxy because like it's gonna come up with Cyber Sleuth. So like we talk Galaxy, Cyber Sleuth at the same time.
Yeah,
funny card.
The Lord Night Lady. What's she actually called? Rie. Rie is
it's an extra memory. The Dark Nightmon. Like okay. I am approaching these from the position of my interest in Lord Nightmon comes from the fact that Dark Nightmon has Nightmon in text. So that's where I will begin appraising these cards from. First, card that gains you memory is nice because Dark Nightmon action economy costs 4. Dark Nightmons cost 4 memory. It costs 4 memory to make a Dark Nightmon and keep turn. So this is what this plus Mem Setter Nene is it's your 4 memory. So you get to make your guy and keep turn. The end of turn to evolve, obviously, the first thing to note is that Lord Knight only evolves over Rie when you have 2 or less security. But like this is a deck where like you can kind of take early chip and then use your blockers to keep you alive after that. So like you kind of let your opponent punch you for a little bit, hoping for tamers and to get the number live, like get to the right number. But then also, this is the same wording as BT7 Takuya, where you can fail to like resolve the evolve. So this is just like you now have access to end of turn blowing up any of your Digimon or Tamers. So the other, like one of the obvious ones is like it says Tamer for one purpose. They cannot get enough of this joke. You can kill Nene again. So this means that Nene is now 2 Hammer Sparks and a Trench Coat that you have easier access to. If you want to kill your opponent and it will cost you 2 more memory than you have, you go to end of turn and Rie will stab Nene for hanging out, and then you will decline to evolve into Lord Nightmon, and then you will not spend anything.
Lord Knight is also a hybrid for game, essentially, in that context.
Yes, because Lord Knight also will effectively have Rush Blitz. But you also can use it to pop, you can also use Rie to pop Dark Knight X's to make them float into Dark Knights to get their on plays, to either kill more Tamers or to Digivolve stuff. Or you can use it to pop little Dark Knight mons to have them spit out their material so that you know, make more bodies. Like there's options for it. The Lord Nightmon itself, it's raid reboot, so you know it's like it's good. It will do the things you want it to do.
You clear something with a Lord Knight, and then you gain a defensive threat on the board by having done so.
Yeah, it's another named Lord Nightmon that you can play in the deck. This one doesn't have overflow, so it's easier to turn this one into Lord Knight X in the actual like Dark Nightmon deck. The effect, the all turns attack, like when a Digimon attacks a player's, obviously it triggers when you swing face, then raid. It also triggers if your opponent swings at you, then you block. The play cost amount that it has is every Dark Nightmon level 4 or lower, like every Skull Knight and every Deadly Axe is 4 cost or less. And then every Nene and every Nene is also like 4 cost or less. So this plays everything level 4 or lower in your deck. It also plays the Monitamons out, and because if you have blocker Nene, then all of those pieces will be chump blockers. Also, yeah, lol, this is Lord Knight's 4th color.
It doesn't matter. It's all black.
But yeah, this is the yellow.
This is the good way to give this deck multiple colors, right? Like,
yeah,
every card that you play at least has one shared color.
I think they like want you to make the like hang out with Yuko and her abuser Lord Nightmon deck. I think they want you to make the red-black like CS deck. Oh, we obviously skip the CS discussion, but it's like I think that's why these are the colors they are. It's neat though. I think this card's really cool. Also, I don't think it matters that it's like an on play because it's like on play +3 until end of opponent's turn. Then Digimon may attack a player. I don't think that's super relevant for Royals. Like, you can give your Floodgate +3. Probably doesn't mean anything.
Omegamon's getting bigger is nice, but that's
is it? Don't you want them to die? Don't you want Omegamon?
I mean, there is value in making your 8K blocker. I don't think that's a crazy thing.
Either way, this is a neat card. Yeah. Also, the Yuko like Rie abuser hangout deck, the Trauma Turbo deck. Lord Knight has raid, so Yuko can make Lord Knight unaffected. Good stuff.
I think there's
2 cards, very neat package.
Yeah, this card will mostly see play as a Lord Knight extender though. Like it is, it's a hybrid for game. It's a good.
It's the funniest because it has because this one actually has pseudo blitz. I think this is of the things that evolve over Tamers that are not hybrids in this set. This is the funniest one for killing people.
And then I'm checking. Oh, we forgot the Flame is basically CS stuff, so we'll talk about that last. The last thing in here is Galaxy got cards. Lunamon is a tribal searcher. She searches
goodbye, Agumon.
And Galaxy returns the rest of the bottom of the deck. And she has a reversion inherit. Instead of being memory, it's draw a card. Very strong. Lekis is when you match the level, you get to play a Tamer with a name that you don't already have. This card is X tier fantastic. It's going to change how this 3 Tamers. Yeah, this deck is going to change how this card changes how you play this deck. It makes the Grace Novamon stuff like crazy good. Actually, I like kind of read the deck.
Do you remember in your Galaxy deck how awkward it was that like man, I have to play.
I'll get you. Me when I get you. I'm gonna get you.
Guys, I have to play out my Tamers, and that takes away so much time for me doing my fun combo.
Yeah, it doesn't matter anymore. They printed something to fix that. The ESS is it's basically like a modernized version of Greymon X from BT9. It's very strong. This card I think is like a 4 of in basically every Galaxy deck from now on.
Yes, the 2 sets of Duo Tamers have different names. So you're okay.
Cressamon is different. Cressamon is it doesn't have the like evolution reduction.
Wait, can we do one thing first before we talk about the actual quality of the card?
Yeah.
Draw 1! Smash 1! It's purple, baby!
Which you're like, that's weird. Galaxy doesn't like that. The Tamer likes that, so that doesn't
The
matter.
Tamer likes that.
Jamming is cool. Lets you get some chip in early. It lets you synergize with like the actual unsuspend components of all your Dianomons,
Now
which
that
is like
you're-
something that you did used to struggle with, which is cool.
The other thing as well with this having jamming, this is one that I had someone point out to me, is that obviously the first 4 you want to go into in your stack is one of the searcher ones because they don't need like a setup of their sources to do something. The second 4 you go into now, you probably want to be Lekis because the free tamers really, like, obviously, you know, Gauga being a memory is really good, but the memory is probably best spent on the tamer, especially because you can play the blue duo tamer, and that gives you memory when you next revert.
Yeah,
So,
you
like-
get more memory off Lekis than you do off Gaugamon.
So the fault of that is that's why Crestamon's jamming kind of matters because you probably can't pit stop to grab Gauga as often as you used to. So because you can't pit stop for Gauga, having jamming at 5 will let you swing it to let you use Diana's EX5 Diana's unsuspend a little easier.
This is another wave of cards that dilutes the DP inherits in this archetype too. So like every time they keep doing this, the average Grace Novamon gets a little smaller. So jamming will come up in the same way, but this is the same thing. Instead of being the protection from deletion the way Lekismon is, or sorry, they're both. It's all deletion.
They're both
deleted.
Yeah,
which is really good. Let's see. That matters because Grace Novamon. That's the thing that you couldn't save Grace Novamon with. Like Grace Novamon could die in a fight, I believe.
Oh,
like
is he only effect protection?
Yeah, it was effect removal. And then the last one's Dianomon of the Digimon. Dianomon is
Holy shit, he has opponent's effect. Word.
Yeah, Dianomon is Ice Clad, which is the thing we joked about finally.
Cool keyword!
They did a great job. Ice Clad blocker, if it digivolves and has all of these things require you to have the same level twice, so it doesn't matter what level it is, just that you have the same level. You trash 4, and then you can return something to the bottom of the deck as long as it's a Digimon with 1 or fewer sources. So not only did they give Lekis Dianomon the keyword we wanted, they then made it let it play around the X antibody, which is just nice. And then it gets an unsuspended end of turn.
They really took everything
ESS.
that you would use Hexablow, nearly everything you would use Hexablow for, and went, please play archetype.
Yep, it's
The only
great.
thing the only thing you don't do is like straight up remove the tamer.
Yeah,
Freeze,
you get to
a lot of
stun it.
tamers freezing them is.
But you get to freeze. You get to freeze in archetype, which is better than hex.
Yeah, and by playing this and not Hexablow, you get to jump scare people on their turn with that Grace Nova, so it's very strong. The last card is Sayo. Sayo is if your opponent's got a Digimon gain a memory, like they printed. I think this is like number 40 of these, to be honest.
Yes.
Well, this is the problem. This set. How many tamers does this set have again? It's like it's an obnoxious number, right?
Oh, good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
God's least favorite pre-release.
Yeah, like they kind of we kind of knew going into this half of these cards were going to have to be like start of main gain 1 because this many mem setters sharing a single tag was going to be the death of them. Like you can't make 4 CS mem setters. You can make 3, it turns out. Or sorry, 4, but right 4.
Yeah,
there's 4 mem setters. I know is Jimmy kind of mem setter or a?
No, he's a memory game.
He's
the memory.
he's a mem setter.
Oh,
He's a
5.
mem setter?
Okay, there's 5.
Yeah, he's a mem
there are
setter.
5 CS tagged mem setters.
The last one in this that I think is cool is that the Sayo. People complained about archetype locking this deck. Sayo is actually not fully archetype locked. She's just archetype blocked the other way. You can actually evolve
Anything
you can evolve
into Grace
anything into
Nova.
a Grace Novamon.
Finally, Hexablow into
yeah,
Grace Nova.
The only application I've seen anyone discuss in any serious capacity is it gives Cyber Sloop the option to make EX5 Apollomon and have like a random 5 damage from trash, which is pretty cool.
You swing the you swing the Rise Greymon and evolve it into Apollo, and it's just suddenly 12 checks. Nah.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Like actually that. But yeah, this card synergizes. It gives you the trash recursion that we were struggling with. It synergizes with the 4 and the 3. Everything about it's strong. Even the egg is draw 1, trash 1. Like it's just nuts. They did a great.
You probably
job.
don't play in Galaxy. You probably don't.
No,
play
you'll
the
never
Egg,
play anything other than Sunmon for a very long time.
Yeah.
But the
This card
Moonmon
is neat, but
yeah,
it's like pack filler.
I think the Moonmon's better in that, like, if all you want to do is make a Grace Novamon, I can see the Moonmon actually mattering, but, like, it's a...
Which
One,
would you
one of
play
these,
in?
it's like one of these Tama is effectively a memory Tama, though, right?
The other thing-
the Sunmon is effectively memory.
Well, no, it's not that easy, right? The other thing about Old Moonmon is Old Moonmon will trigger when you use Lekis, because it's not when you play a tamer by paying the cost. It's when you play a tamer with the Nightclaw or Lightfang trait, you get to evolve. So like new Lekis playing out a million cards will still trigger that effect from the egg to be able to evolve afterwards. So like it becomes like a viable route again because of the Lekismon. I just, will it be better than Sunmon? We'll have to see.
Probably not. I think there's a reason that they made the Wanyamon as well for CS.
Yeah. Let's talk about Pete.
My goat should have been rule boxed. You know how the Pulsemon, that Pulsemon promo is called Pal and his rule box a Pulsemon? This motherfucker should have been called Pete. That's my goat, Pete. That's my ride or die Pete.
Every single time I look at Cyber Sleuth, I have to read everything but the egg again, which is not because it's just like not intuitive. It's just because I'm so galaxy brained that I don't understand. Like that's not what I meant.
Kill yourself.
Yeah. The differences trip me up. So the only reversion that you regularly will do are the threes, right? Because like I've seen most of the players talk about this, saying Jimmy Ken will not see a ton of play because you won't use his thing to revert with. So like that's it. So you basically will have one level where you have a duplicate at, and then the rest is just kind of like a normal stack, right?
From my understanding, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do we want to do this? Do we want to just rip the threes because they're like maybe the most important card? The Terriermon will play a tamer.
Shared effect segment, right? Yeah.
Yeah, the Terriermon plays a tamer. The Palmon will give you a memory, and the Haguru is
DP minus.
shrink something. Yeah. Those are really the Moonmon is the Hagurumon specifically is the one I'm like, holy moly. But
the Haguru is neat. The Haguru is like I think the order of operations is like Terriermon is the one you want to start with to develop your tamers. Haguru if the opponent has board, Palmon if you need to extend. That's basically like how you want to prioritize. Like in your opener, like you go first and you look at your hand and you have a Haguru and a Terriermon, you put the Terriermon down.
Promote Terrier, evolve Gargo, play a tamer, revert Gargo into Terrier, draw a card, Terrier, play a tamer. It's like, what?
I thought because the Gargomon also plays tamers. It's if you
that's
don't
what
want to.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like you go from 0 tamers to 2 tamers off of evolving into a 4 and then reverting.
I don't, because you have like other cards in your stack that play a tamer out like at levels 4 and 5. This deck will always be able to like get to like even if your tamers get constantly like wiped, you'll always like end the turn with 2 tamers out. So very neat. Yeah, the Gargo plays a tamer.
3k raid piercing, which is a very significant amount of DP.
It's pretty good.
This is the easy way to get raid for your Yuko without needing to add like additionally commit any extra resources to triggering her effect.
It's technically +5 because you get 3 from the evolution and then 5
and 2 from itself. Yeah, it's so sick.
Makes
so
the Rise Greymon just huge.
Yeah.
The
Kieran.
What's the level 4 called? The Gardro is very neat.
Digivolve. Oh my god.
The Gardro is like the Gardro is probably the most notable one because it's like Haguru plus Gardro is like Digivolve 1 and then DP -5 combined. So like -6 combined. So you're already contesting like a ton of stuff at like very early on into the game.
Yeah, that kills like basically most level 5, nearly every level 5 in the game, probably, right? Like even an Arrester would be 10k without
everything
boost.
that's not immune in some way.
Yeah.
Like this deck cannot get disrespected. Like if you disrespect CS, they'll just clear you.
Yeah.
So the thing I struggle with is like when I've seen a lot of people propose like draft lists for this archetype, one of the things that shows up is like those are the threes, right? Like that if you're gonna play a Cyber Sleuth,
those are the
like,
threes.
That's the one you stack. The Gabumon is superfluous. You don't need his search. You don't need the search in the Karamon because your search comes from the fact that you got the what's it name? Kurumi Detective Agency.
You got it's Kurumi Detective Agency. There's Yugo and
Yugo
there's Mirai.
Yeah. And you also have you have a draw.
Search.
Yeah, you have a draw on your rookie and then the draws for turn. Like the deck's base consistency is very good.
Cool.
And also it also has a tamer that what's it called? That adds back pieces when your stacks get cleared.
Yeah.
And does another thing.
Yeah, and one other side.
You know, she adds back a piece and a secret third thing.
Okay, so how do we want to chop this up?
Just go to the CS. Go do CS level 4s.
Yeah.
Like CS 10 level 4.
The other notable 4s I'm like that I have been told to look at are like the Okuamon, the Kokuamon. No,
Yeah, so-
Kuwagamon.
The Kuwagamon is neat because it gives you lock and it gives you like memory extension through Release My Battle, which plays on the like early board removal the deck has.
Yeah.
The other things to consider is like the Numemon package because like
Platinum
You
Nume evolves stuff for 0. The Gold Nume has reductions. It's like
The Gold Nume is so good.
Yeah.
the other one that me and Marcio have spoken about a decent amount is the Kentaros line. So like the Repamon,
Repa.
Kirinmon, like that package is like it's very good at making things happen quickly.
like the Repa is pretty good for the first effect is the DP -3 is lingering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have a little bit of lingering DP minus, and you have a when attacking -2. So the reason why all this matters is because like when we look at the sixes, like there's a clear 6 that the deck will go into.
A lot. And
Other
also-
level 4s is like if you want to play the Jimmy-Can package, like the Meramons are a decent inclusion. I don't think you'll really play the Kurisara or the
No, the ones that have to play specifically.
Vidra.
The only one that would play a specifically named Tamer that I think is worth talking about is Devi, because like Jimmy Ken does interact favorably enough. But I don't think a free Arata or a free Rena is like enough to validate like playing around their pieces.
Yeah.
Also, the inherits on the inherit on Devi is generic, whereas the inherit on Vidra and Kurisara, they don't call for trait, they call for name.
Yeah, and then like maybe the Lekasif, the Lekasif would only be good to play out your secret rare tamer.
But yeah, and it only gives you 1 the first time, which I think she's an option, but I don't think she's like. This is a Galaxy card, right? Like this one's a
this one
Galaxy
doesn't
card.
even
It
play
happens to
CS.
be CS, but this is a Galaxy.
Yes. Like,
Yeah,
it
this
doesn't-
isn't a CS card. Like I think your 4s are kind of just like you're gonna always play Gargomon, and then you build your toolbox around
Gold
the cards.
Guardro for sure.
Yeah, Gold Guardro and Gargo, and then you're gonna build your toolbox around the things that you value next. If you really do want to make like 5s with raid that beat the shit out of stuff, then like Togemon probably is pretty good. But like I think like Gold Nume, the Repa Kirin package, Kuwaga to suspend things. Like it's just like what do you want your toolbox to do, right?
Or you do the Jimmy Ken.
Or you do the Jimmy Ken package of Devimon and his associates. Good stuff.
Let's talk 5s. The 5s, like you mentioned, the
There's like an
You specifically called out Kirinmon before as like the
Kirinmon
one that
is-
people are like stoked about.
When Digivolving, he makes your 6 cost 2 less. He makes your
He
6
also
cost
gets your security down for the numbers the tamer as well.
which matters for
Kirin is like by far the best level 5 in the deck. It's not even close.
Yep.
Like how much better it is than everything else.
the next one in
Because-
month.
Is it that much better than the Rise, really?
Well, the thing with
Yes.
Rise is that Rise still has the 1 or fewer tamers limit, and if you do the Terriermon Gargomon line, then like he doesn't actually free play a tamer.
The
Sure, that's
security
true.
attack is really
Also,
strong.
he's like, there's a really weird random thing that the Rise Greymon does that like annoys me. It's
Yeah.
oh no, sorry, never mind. The black or red tamer has the play cost limit. The CS tamer does not have a play cost limit. Never mind. He can play Kermit.
Okay. So then it's like the Aerovidramon is a thingy card. It's really I mean
Arena.
the top half of the
You're doing one of those things. Yeah, it's like it's a thing that you could do, but it's just not.
The removal,
worth
I
it.
feel like the removal is like kind of useful, and the unsuspend is kind of useful.
We have
But,
we have talked about Shambala already. The overwhelming opinion is that we think those Digimon are cool as heck.
I think they'll be starter deck cards.
The one of the main things I think is like really really strong is the Okuamon. Like the Okuamon giving you
Pot deck
suspend and then bounce.
Fortitude!
As well as like, fortitude
Rebound
is like
on that deck.
so yeah, bounce. Fortitude with like interruption is like pretty good. Again, like in cases of like you don't quite have the things that you need to, or like you want to develop early, and theoretically, if the opponent would have a crackback, like one thing doesn't just straight up get rid of your Okua. So this is like probably one of the other cards you might consider. So it's kind of good.
Sorry, I have to address that in chat. What does banned Motgao have that's better than that Arrow Digimon? An unsuspended.
An untagged unsuspend. Next question.
Yeah, I get what you mean about the 5 specifically being like they are like a conveyance system to like getting up to what you need them to do as like a toolbox.
Yeah.
So like you engine is the 3s and 4s, and then you turn them into something else to play with. It feels like everything that you like. It's weird because like I do agree that like most of the toolbox feels really varied, but it's weird that almost every option 5 is either shrink or bounce. Like it's like a very strange bottleneck that the 5s come into. You can either hit something. Like does Blue Mara even pop?
I think
He revives.
He attacks.
He revives, then he revives, then attacks, and has alliance.
Does Skull Mara pop? Like I'm trying to work
Skull
out.
Mara now.
It's the big guy. It's the. I think it's the.
He does.
Oh, he does. Never mind.
Up a 5 if it did gain second
level
attack.
5 or lower. Okay, good. Because I was gonna say like this toolbox has 2 removal kinds. It's not actually that diverse in that regard, but it's cool to see.
I was evolved in it. What?
Yeah,
DP minus DP evolved delete.
I know, but it's weird that they kept printing like what's Inframon immune to again? DP minus and bounce and bot deck.
Just do Digivolve. It's fine.
Yeah. I don't know. I've been
once again,
out,
once again, this is a color held hostage by itself. I'm immune to everything but Digivolve, right? Yeah. Oh.
The Crestamon is like kind of okay in this deck because like getting to swing a 5 is good. Setting up your trash for your tamer is good.
It also freezes though, right?
And then it does also gives you that tamer interaction. So yeah, evolving for 4 is a little bit awkward. I'm trolling.
It does say CS.
Yeah, this is probably like one of your other considerations.
I think in my mind though, it's like Rise Greymon and Kieran are like the 2 that I get the most excited for because it's like some of your tamers
I'm excited about a bug.
I mean, yeah, obviously bug is.
I'm like, really unhappy that this.
The thing with Rise Greymon is Rise Greymon says Sec+1, and like again when we get to the 6s though, there's a card that makes Sec+1 look really appealing.
Yeah.
Let's talk 6s. We should start with Alphamon.
This card is an unbelievable Cyber Sleuth. This card is so good as a Cyber Sleuth. The things that this card does as a Cyber Sleuth are very good.
Yeah, it's minimum like a 10k shrink basically.
It's a 10k shrink on the first swing, and then when it unsuspends and swings the second time, it'll be 15. And if it's on top of Kieran, like me and Marcio keep saying you should be on top of Kieran, it
14.
means your first swing will be minus 14, and then the second swing you'll minus 19 stuff. And like that's not assuming that you're on Repamon in your stack as well, which is another -2, and then like minus 22k split in increments of 2, 4, 5, 5, 5 is like so much control. Also, it gets an extra 3k DP when it blocks or attacks and unsuspends.
It's it has reboot blocker at the very least.
At the very least. And, it evolves over Kurumi for 5, which if you ever have 2 of, like, the start of main get a memory tamers means that you can use this as, like, a body out of thin air if you don't get deleted. But if you do get deleted, Kurumi turns herself sideways and then evolves into this for 3, which means that even off of just Kurumi as your only tamer, you can still mem set sideways, mem setter yourself down to 0 and make an Alphamon and try to fight back.
Yeah, it's like
this is a very, very good Cyber Sleuth card.
They hit the last Alphamon to get a second Herrit with an axe too, so like this one at the mere minimum threatens 4 damage.
Also, yeah, I think this is why Rise Greymon, Rise Greymon on top of this does do 4 damage.
Like basically, like Rise Greymon plus Alpha sets up that your follow-up Alpha is game by itself because it's swing and then swing direct.
Yep, and then also the other thing is that the Evo over CS for 3 matters a lot because of Kieran means that this is a 1 cost level. Like all of these 6s, you should look at with the context of what if they cost 1, because Kieran will make them cost 1 at the cost of 1 of your security. So and a lot of these cards are really good for 1 memory.
So the main thing with the Cyber Sleuth deck is that like you have a lot of removal, you have a lot of recovery, you have a lot of like clapback, but you don't really have protection. Like,
yeah,
there's
the most protected card here, funny enough, actually still is Alphamon, and that's after giving itself +3 and nothing else.
And it's a reboot blocker, so the opponent can't like, swing into it. Yeah, double blocker too.
Double blocker because it will go sideways and get another +3. So it'll be a 15 then 18k blocker.
The main thing is like your stacks will get removed, but you have a lot of cards that like get you back on the board, and you're gonna keep it's like an attrition deck. It's like kind of like Adventure, where like you're gonna keep trading and trading and trading until there's like a clear window where like you win the game. Like
Yeah.
Eventually, the opponent just
Because like
can't,
obviously
like-
we mentioned Kurumi evolving for 3 into alpha, but you also don't have to evolve Kurumi. You can just use her to recur a piece every time part of your stack dies, and like your opponent having to find like multiple ride lines to like multiple like evo chains to like present a threat, versus you having to find 3/4 of a ride of an evo line because you now have Kurumi adding back a piece every time. It's neat. Also, you do have the 2 available aces that Cyber Sleuth as a tag gets are like both also, I think, really reasonable inclusions.
Yeah, so if you stay at 5, you can threaten the All Force because it just bounces the opponent's lowest level, which is like pretty good, or you play like a blue tamer, which is like the secret rare tamer. So that's like not terrible. The leopard, so the main thing with the leopard is you'd have to look at like the 5k DP threshold guys.
You go back to the level 4s, and then you relook at the fact that a bunch of the level 4s randomly say on play. Things like the green ones are obviously the intentionally designed ones, like it turns Kuagumon into an on-play suspend. But Repa also is like -3, then if you burn a security, it's a -6 instead. I think Gardramon won't de-digivolve, but he will still -3.
He -3s.
Yeah, so you got like
Kuaga
-3s.
suspend something.
You can't play Kuaga, it's too big.
Is Kuaga 6?
Oh, sorry,
Yeah,
Kuaga
you can't play Kuaga or Rapid. You can only play the 5k or lowers. But I think that matters mostly because like one of the ones I know, like obviously H said the Gardra shrink is valuable. But like it doesn't actually have to be a level 4. So like if you can't like if you drop like a platinum Numemon, gold Numemon can get up to platinum Numade like on the clapback, which is very strong.
Yeah. The other thing as well is whatever he will play, he will give blocker to.
Yeah.
And then if you're evolving at blast time, your opponent's swinging, right? So then if you block with whatever you chump block with, it will trigger Leopard to steal 2 memory. Which is like
there's a ton of flexibility in Leopard.
Also, if Leopard's thing dies blocking and you steal your 2 memory and you have a Kurumi can go sideways and add that piece back. And then Kurumi's only thing she needs to do to warp is you to not have an Alphamon. She can warp if you have a body on field, I'm pretty sure. It's just like you have to not have exactly an Alphamon. So
the other 6 that I think we'll see play in the deck is the Lord Nightmon with the Lord Nightmon Tamer, because it lets you deliberately tap your Kurumis to get back your pieces for follow-up. And then it's also a thing that like declares an attack if you've met the conditions, and it can like theoretically also go wide if you build for it. So like you have a play cost that is play cost of 4 or lower that is red or black covers like quite a good chunk of your stuff. Notably, it plays the Numaze, it plays the Gardro, it plays the Togemon, it plays the Kuaga. What are the?
It doesn't play Kuaga, right?
Sorry, no, I'm trolling. Not Kuaga.
And the red or black pieces would just be like, how much does Devimon cost? He costs 5, right?
No, sorry. It plays your level 3s.
Plays your level 3s. It plays out your only plays out your 3s, and I don't think it plays out many of your tamers because your tamer is the wrong color. Like it plays out Rie herself, obviously, but I think they made the cutoff and 5 specific. It would play out Arata if you wanted to build around Arata as well. It also
that is true.
The thing is, like, it can't play out Kurumi because I think intentionally they kind of wanted these two to, like, Royal Knight catfight. The other thing with this deck then, of course, is like 2 of the tamers are consistency cards, like with Yugo and Mirai. Like Mirai's pitch draw 2, which sets up your trash for things like
she replaces yourself with all the non-consistency tamers.
Yeah, so you replace yourself with like both of these like consistency tamers do the. I think Mirai EX9 is this card that they really like as a tamer you can play down early that will remove itself from the field so that you can take advantage of your Digimon free playing tamers. So in Mirai's case, she'll replace herself with a higher play cost Cyber Sleuth tamer. But I think the more interesting one is Yugo, the 3-cost white tamer, because he is pretty much the exact same text as Mirai.
No, he's reduced play cost of anyone. Mirai can't play Yugo.
Not Mirai, sorry, Mirai.
Oh, right, my bad.
Yeah. Like it's like when you
when you play a tamer.
You do the switcheroo. Yeah.
which is nice because it means that you can, you have a searcher you can play down early that replaces itself with a discount. It's pretty good. And it reduces your total number of tamers on field, which means you can free play tamers again.
So the end goal of the Cyber Sleuth deck is to really make like Omni. Like Omni is the other thing
And
that you want.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the other guy.
Omni is going to be the thing that like ties everything together. Like consistently, it's going to be like the final thing that you use to like remove the opponent's cards. And because it has decode, it means that you're getting your resources back in some way or like some amount of floating. And also like it attacks, so it's like you're not missing out on damage by evolving. Because you evolve, you get to remove something, then you attack, and then because you attack, you get to delete something. So when Tom was saying like, oh, this deck has like a lot of DP minus and bounce and stuff, this is like your main form of like actual straight up deletion.
He's really good.
It's cool that it's all when attacking. Like this is just, it's another bounce up until you trigger its blitz, and like at that point, like you leave the only thing that doesn't want to get deleted on the board to out. And then like it's lowest DP, so you can like manipulate with all the shrinks and stuff to get that to that point too. There's a lot of like really intuitive gameplay design in this deck. I think they've done a great job.
This set is fun to talk about for the CS
field
cards.
Matter.
The field spell.
It plays every tamer. That's gotta matter, right?
But it goes to the bottom.
Bottom security.
Yeah, it's bottom security.
That's kinda
Okay, so
stinky.
the
No
one thing I
pressure.
will say is if we end up in a ruin mode format, it's this one's all turns +2. So like this is probably how you would play around like a ruin mode decks. If you play this preemptively and now your 4s can live promoting. That being said, the problem is you're a revert deck, and as a revert deck, ruin mode kind of
Kick you in the balls. Yeah,
ruin mode kind of bad.
Yeah,
it's like,
I mean, I guess
Doomsday.
thanks.
Two instances of decode is better than partition because for partition you have to have both halves, whereas this means that if you say
Only
you
have
never
one
get
rookie.
is it relevant if you only have one rookie, right? Or if you get you get one of your rookies source stripped, like say Terriermon gets ejected from the mecha, you can still play out your free Palmon. Also, for the actual Omnimon deck, say you hard play Wargreymon to warp your Gabumon to Metal Garurumon, then DNA. You will not have an Agumon to decode there because you hard played Wargrey, but you will have a Gabumon to decode. It's one of those things where it's like it is pretty much a strict upgrade, and it will matter once in a blue moon. Not once in a blue moon. It will matter fairly often.
I think this deck is fascinating because it is, broadly speaking, more archetypally restricted than EX5's Galaxy package. I'm not going to pretend in any other way. But it has no points of interaction that you can floodgate. Like, I guess you DP minus a board and you can hurt a revert deck. But, like, the memory gain comes from tamers. The only things that your reversions do give you card draw or cycle or, like, free played tamers, which there isn't a lot of floodgates for that. Like, the whole thing you get out of this is just, like if you the Cyber Sleuth player have everything, they can't stop you.
Yeah.
It's like little.
Somebody put in the chat that the thing I was gonna say. It's like because of I genuinely think that like Alpha and Lord Knight are going to be the core of the deck, and because you're also making Omni, using the Tamer to pop your using the Lord Knight Tamer to pop your Omni means that you get to make a Lord Knight and float into a rookie.
The combination of the 3 Royal Knights in this deck will be you use the Lord Knight Tamer to pop your Omnimon, to decode your 2 3s, and then turn Kurumi sideways to recur a third piece from that stack, and then you have a Lord Knight in play if you were at low enough security for it to be live. You have added back a decent chunk of your pieces, and also Kurumi is threatening Alphamon next turn.
This isn't even accounting for like theoretically this could be an analog deck. Like,
yeah,
you could like because of the Lord Knight Tamer, you can go end of turn, pop my stack, gain 2, 3, 4 memory back, rehatch, and then like I get pieces back with Kurumi. I put the rookie in the back, and then like
whatever you mill to trash, Kurumi adds back. Like
so there's also the possibility.
Like the thing with CS really is like you can choose a thing that you think is the strongest card that has the Cyber Sleuth tag and build around it. Like, I think almost all of them are viable options.
Are we done talking about this freaking weenie-ass stack deck? And can we finally talk about the actual payoff in this set? The GOAT, the big man, Boltmon.
True! Flame!
Who, not even on play, Assembly allows you to use Jimmy Can and, I guess, Play a 5 and Alliance.
Woo!
What a card. This shit sucks, but it's so sick.
But
And
they
it's
did get ults as
I
well.
actually it's so frustrating. If Jimmy Ken was 2-color purple red, I think this might have legit been all right.
Can I give you the one piece of amazing news about this deck though?
God.
Let me confirm this before I say anything stupid.
Yeah. Go ahead, big dog.
Hang on, there's one card I gotta check still.
Yeah.
Yep. This deck is printed. If you search by flame here as your search term, you will notice that this is a sign that Red Scar TCG, Adam, my goat, my beloved, every Cyber Sleuth card that is a flame card is uncommon and below. Eden Superstar Flame deck.
Aren't the actual BT15 5s, sorry, the 4 and 5, aren't they also what are they called? Aren't they also Eden targets?
The Demi-Mara and the Mara and the Skullmara from that set. They are a common and a common. Yes, this every flame card that pays memory is uncommon and below.
So really quickly, the Jimmy Ken, like the Tamer Jimmy Ken, doesn't let you not pay the cost of your mains. You still have to pay the cost.
You pay the cost of the main. He just refunds you one.
But
it's not great. Oh, by the way, you know this Tamer that you want to...
No, Marcio, that matters. You can't memblock Tamers.
Eden Superstar deck.
And because he has ult, you can bling your Eden Superstar deck. So
I actually will. Do not get it twisted. I'm ready to put. Well, I almost said I was ready to put KnTElixar on the shelf, but I actually really like my KnTElixar deck.
I loved Eden Week.
Chat, if you've got this far into our set review, give us the little like
fire emoji. The graph go up like the.
The emoji of the 2 women holding hands, because it's Alphamon and Kurumi.
I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah, give us the 2 women holding hands, and give us like a video game controller, and then let us know you were here. We appreciate the heck out of you.
Did you really show up and say, chat, give us a lesbian gaming?
Yeah, lesbian gamers.
Happy Pride, everyone.
It's the 29th of June as time of recording. Happy Pride Month.
Happy Pride, everyone.
Hope you had a good month.
Yeah, we didn't intentionally skip this month. I was just busy with Juneteenth for the entire month.
Yeah, that tracks.
Yeah, so I'm coming back with Negamon next month, and it's gonna be great.
Harry, you and I can say that word as long as you really emphasize that it sounds like a horse noise. It's an Negamon.
Yeah,
it's awesome. I was instinctively gonna go, can you say that? And then went, wait, no, it's Andrew. I can't do this joke.
Yeah, he's good.
Wait, hey, my bad.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
There you go. Let's be in gaming.
This is an audio medium. Guys, Andrew's black. 49 episodes in, better part of 100 hours of audio. I don't know if we've ever said that.
I'd say sorry to be the one to have.
I really thought he was from the Philippines.
I'd say sorry to have to break the news to anyone who didn't know. But if that's a deal breaker for you, I think we're good if you leave through the door.
Got a couple announcements for you guys. A part of Misplay for Game. Today, well, as of this past Saturday, but I got a couple things. We are trying to get information about the Misplay for Game. I think we're calling it the Birthday Bash, which I think is cute. I prefer that to Case Tournament, but it's a Case Tournament. The Misplay for Game Case Tournament. I would like for you guys. We didn't give you enough heads up last time. We heard about that. People had a lot of complaints saying they couldn't get organized. Bandai won't punk us this time. We are aiming for September 20th, Saturday, September 20th. That's where we're at. Or sorry, no, that is. Oh yeah, I had the calendar up wrong. It is Saturday, September 20th. Keep your eyes around September 20th, 2025.
Wait, is this IDBW like the Gora player? Oh my god, we have a famous. So famous.
Yeah, he's long time,
Wait, is this the Gora guy whose list I stole?
Yes.
No, that was the purple player.
Yeah, keep an eye on this account.
Either way.
The MCR
Gora gang.
MCRDCCG, follow it on there. Andrew very likely will do the little hey guys, come to our tournament that we did last year. You'll see me and Marcio posting stuff about coming to the Case Tournament, the whole shebang. It will be organized. We're attempting to do September 20th, 2025 in Greater Manchester. We have a couple venues. We're nailing the specifics, but your date right now is September 20th, 2025. That's where
August
we're
4th, 2027.
September, can you make us a 3-camera view so he's not on screen while we do this, by the way? September 20th, 2025. That is the weekend we are looking at for the event. Come along. If you went to the last one, you'll be able to find the VOD on the YouTube channel or Twitch. Well, you won't be able to see it on Twitch because Twitch is killing its VOD stuff. But if you go on YouTube, you can check it out because the whole VOD is there and you can watch the whole thing and see how it went. There will be a case of Digimon cards being split among the participants. There will be custom prizing that we will be contributing via the help of either local community artists that are respected amongst the viewers of this channel or maybe the UK Digimon scene. There will be probably a Tesco nearby, although hopefully, touch wood, I realize that you might not.
On the site.
Food at the venue this year, guys. Food at the venue this year. Yeah, there'll be custom stuff. You'll be learning more about like the partners and stuff we're working with. I'm getting all that nailed done in the next 2 weeks. We, as of right now, are theming the thing on the birthday bash. It's because it will coincide with these two and their birthday. Their birthday.
Don't leak my birthday.
So, I'm sorry, Marcio's birthday isn't the 20th of September, but every single day I will take one of those days off until we reverse dox Marcio again. The last thing to talk about with regards to the Misplay for Game 2025 birthday bash is that it will feature like tiered pricing for placing really well. So
yeah,
we want you guys to come out, sweat your little hearts out, because as of right now, we know it to be the only UK event taking place in September. So if you are a fan of playing Digimon here in the United Kingdom, you can come along to our event. We were very proud to host it last year at nearly sell-out capacity. We're hoping to do even more this year.
Yeah, it's going to be a 64 cap this year. We may end up having to get 2 cases.
It's a thing we're working on.
Hopefully there'll be online sign-up that people, pay for their ticket, so we know ahead of time if you are actually going to show up. But yeah, you'll get to see all of us with
I'm alive again.
The several Misplay for Game and friends. Because people care about more than just these 3 people on screen. Like, there are people that know most of the fanboy core now. But yeah, we're looking forward to it. As soon as we know more details, we'll trickle them
They'll
out.
go up on the Twitter and all the platforms.
If you haven't already joined our Discord, the Discord is a great place to get updates on stuff like this. I will put them in announcements. We don't ping at everyone's very often, or at least I don't. So the announcements channel will be useful, and keep an eye on that.
Do you still not have a bot that does this?
I guess not.
Dude, YouTube bots are completely and total psychotic guessing games.
Yeah, so it's in the description of every YouTube video ever. So come on down to KnTElixar.
You can also find us on Google now. If you search Misplay for Game Discord, we show up on Google.
Oh, sick. Yeah, you can just search that.
That's what
on
happened
Google.
last time we did this too.
So yeah, that's pretty much the update from us. We are actually working on it instead of talking about it. So yeah, hopefully we'll get to see a whole building bustling with the Digimon players.
Hey, can I get the me cam for a sec?
I didn't die this time.
Hey guys, if you're in one of this nation's great capital cities like Edinburgh or London that are on Great Britain, the island contiguously attached to the city of Manchester, come to the event this year, because we had a couple of you that couldn't make it. And I understand some of that is booking. We had a venue pull out on us in the last minute last time. But if folks can get the ferry from Ireland or a flight over from Ireland, you can show up to Manchester. It's not even that bad.
He's going to be here. He's in...
Wait, Henny's coming?
Yeah, Henny's coming.
Wants to. We got to organize the thing better, but
go.
That's the plan. So, listen, no bullshit, London Digimon. I know where most of you live now. Come to the Misplay. Have birthday bash. Yeah. You'll get a 1p discount back if you bring a candle that we're gonna stick on a cake.
Look, it's either this or flying to some European country, and we both know you don't want to do that. You'd rather just get a nice, cushy train.
This is a European country.
We used to be.
Anyways,
every year we're slowly moving away out of Europe. We'll become the 51st state.
UK's lowest in the chat.
Yeah, UK lowest. Hey, speaking of lowering in the UK, you could lower the left mouse button down onto the subscribe button to make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel, where you could also be a channel member. Twitch Prime is free. I know most of the students are out of term, so Amazon Student is currently like less of a thing you all are worried about. But like, you guys burn through student accounts anyway. Save $5 and subscribe to Misplay for Game on that. You can get all your membership content a month early if you're a champion tier or above. But we are attempting to work out the specifics of the aforementioned ultimate tier and higher getting a discount, right? That's how it works.
Yeah, last time we tried to do tiered discounts. If we're going through an actual online provider, we might be able to do that better. It may end up Shopify link. We'll figure it out. But yeah, hopefully the tiered discounts will be perfect this time.
Something to think about, gang. And you'll of course get all the bonus content like the one we'll play record after this.
Yeah. So I
Anything
guess that's
else?
pretty much, we've done all the wrap up. If you're watching on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, make
It's
sure to rate us on all of
happening.
those and prepare for the thing that everyone waited several hours for us to start saying, the bit
Happy
that
Pride
anyone only tunes in for.